Why do I have Warhammer 2's poopy vortex? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Gross. Yuck. Yuck. Disgusting. Maybe. Why do I have Warhammer 2's...
my own voice.
Sound check is good. Ooh, Rakarth is nice and spooky. Might have to do Rakarth. Rakarth. Don't cast your first game. I'll try not to. Oh boy. Good morning, everybody. I gave blood today, so I feel bad because they took all the blood out of my little body. I got no blood left. None in my little body. No blood, little body. We have another new player tournament. This week it's hosted by Big JP and RTK. Happy birthday! Yay! Happy birthday to me! It's not my birthday, but yay! Yeah, so what we got today is the new player tournament, Conquest stuff, casting games from a tournament Big JP hosted. He hosts it pretty similar to the ones I would run. He generates 4 Swiss rounds, and then after that, he determines semifinals and finals, which I don't usually do. But when he does it, I'll cast those. So we'll cast semifinals and finals live. Until then, take a look at some replays. First, make sure I cast one from everyone in the tournament. Make sure that everybody playing gets at least one moment on stream. And then after that, I'll just find ones that look interesting to me. Teach me your ways. I can try to. In general. All right, we ready? Let's do this. As a gift, could you do Goblin, Wolf, Chariot, Black Coach on the same build? No, those are possible to take on the same build. As a part of this has be. As a part of builds in general, no, both those units are terrible. There are some Vampire Counts mains that are telling me Black Coach isn't that bad now, and then I never see it. I just see Manfred and 4 Vargeists. So you have Devil versus Bobdu for first game of the day. Lizardmen versus Grand Cathay. How grand can one Cathay truly be? 5 red crested skinks in the front line, including the cohort of Sotek. We have Nakai, the Wanderer, a skink priest of beast with Flock of Doom, then some feral Bastildons, Croxgors, Colden Spear Riders, and a couple of Pterodons. Fireleech Bolas. Interesting. A couple being one group of them. I was just flabbergasted and stunned. On the side of Grand Cathay, Peasant Long Spears and Jade Warriors in the front line, some Halberds on the secondary, 2 Crane Gunners, and then Jade Lancers in the back with Yanbo, Execution, Caster, brought Comet, and Jade Shield. No net, which normally you only see him for net, honestly. Oh, they have 2 Crowmen too. Okay. Conquest mode, so Cathay is going to try and just do a ton of damage and hopefully beat the Lizardmen back and then take the point afterwards. They're not really going to advance and contest the center ground. It looks like the Lizardmen aren't really going to stay back and capture it either. They're just going to rush them and hope for the best. Croxagors on top of Skinks on top of Coldland Spear Riders. Probably don't need the Coldland Spear Riders here as well, as now you're going to have large units just getting stuck on each other, so they don't get as much damage out. But in general, those Peasant Long Spears are pretty screwed. Yenbo tries to hold the front line as his Jade Warriors are getting mulched by the Red Crested Skinks and Croxagors. Red Crested Skinks, Croxagors buffing each other up, giving the Spawnkin passives. So Skinks cause fear, and then Croxagors get like 15% more damage overall. Coldland Spear Rider is going to take a charge with Jade Lancers. Even at a 2v1, they should trade pretty well there. Anti-large armor piercing cav and 2 non-anti-large non-armor piercing cav is going to be good for them. Crane Gunners are offline. Both of them are shut down by some unit or another, so the DPS of Grand Cathay is going to fall dramatically. Bounce power is in their favor. I would actually way rather be the Lizardmen right now. You've gotten through the enemy front line. You're on top of their expensive gun pieces, and their cavalry is in a bad fight with your cav, so yeah, they're just feeling pretty favored. I don't care if they've taken more damage up to this point. Yenbo in a losing fight. Ooh, nice comment in the background, but he is in a losing fight with the Kai, and the Feral Bastildon as Hazel shakes very loudly. Flock of Dooms in from the Lizardmen, trying to peel off the Onyx Crowmen, who are moving together in a bit of a clump. They should be spreading out. One can harass the Pterodons for the entire game, but the other ones didn't need to be rear charging Cav or something like that. But already one of them is going to Demonic Instability Crumble. That's a little early. Damn, Crowmen don't usually crumble that early. Okay, well there goes that one. All of a sudden, Lizardmen ahead on the balance power, and I would definitely agree. As the problems we foresaw a couple... I guess it wasn't a couple minutes ago, because this game is only 3 minutes long so far, so just a little bit back. Problems coming to fruition. Yembo dueling with Nakai. I don't think he's going to get him in execution range or anything before the rest of his army completely falls apart, and then Nakai could just fall back and let Skinks slowly whittle down Yenbo as the Fire Leech Bolas fall back. Good rear charge in from the Cold and Spear Riders on the Celestial Dragon Guard. Oh, those are Celestial Dragon Guard. That explains why this Grand Cathay build is so thin. Also explains why it's losing, because Celestial Dragon Guard are some of the worst units in the entire game. They're so fucking garbage. I hate them. I despise them. I detest them. I treat every interaction with Celestial Dragon Guard like they personally slapped my mother. What up, Dan Dan? I hear your show is pretty good. I'll watch it eventually. I'm in the middle of another show right now, but I'll watch Dan Dan eventually. Army loss is going to take out Yembo, and that'll be that. I don't hate the Grand Cathay strategy. Feels bad to be the Celestial Dragon Guards yet. I don't feel bad about... I don't dislike the strategy for Grand Cathay here. I just think you can go a lot wider and add more layers. Your 2 Crane Gunners can stay online a lot longer if you cut the 2 Celestial Dragon Guard, cut Yanbo, and go cheaper. Especially if you just wanted him for Comet and Jade Shield. Looking at these guys, no real crazy values. But you can go with a Shugenin caster for Jade Shield, and then if you really wanted to, you could get a Jingdu Ward Compass for the Comets. That could be okay, and then downgrade those 2 Celestial Dragon Guards to like Jade Warrior Halberds. And you can probably afford 3 Jade Warrior Halberds for 2 Celestial Dragon Guards, that just gives you more bodies. How would you fix the end times? Lean into the Mortal Chaos factions a bit more. Don't have like infinite amounts of Nurgle just wandering around, or Slanesh dies off screen to some high elves. Khorne fucks around forever and gets nothing done. We have Yoshai versus Kukinko while I answer this question. Wood Elves Nurgle. Speaking of Nurgle, I think it was just kind of lame that like everything seemed to be happening one at a time. So it's like the Skaven showed up and bodied everyone at the same time. Like they took out Talea and Astalia while also invading the Empire, while also invading the Dwarven realms and fighting the Lizardmen. And then the Skaven like went away, and then it was Nurgle's turn to show up, and then when Nurgle went away, like Archaon showed up. I don't know, it was just weird. Let's definitely have them be more of a cohesive charge, and then really highlight the infighting of the Order races rather than just make infinite amounts of bad guys they can't possibly beat. Like the High Elf writing was poor, but if the end of times was coming and like the Dark Elves wanted to suicide charge the High Elves just out of one last vainglorious attempt to take Ulthuan, and it didn't work, well then you've weakened the Dark Elves and the High Elves effectively, right? So that's okay. Like that's okay if you want to do it, it just needs to be written entirely differently, but the plot point is okay. Like really leaning in on the dwarves being too greedy and staying in their holds instead of helping anybody out. So then Chaos, like the Skaven come from the south and invade the Empire, while Chaos comes in from the north and the Empire gets crushed, while the dwarves watch on from their hills, the Wood Elves watch on from the trees. And it's like, you really highlight the faults of the Order races, and you get the same goal, instead of having them unite, but then have to fight impossibly high numbers of end time stuff. It's a little silly. And you could even have the Greenskins, like, do what the fucking Greenskins did. They took out Grand Cathay, they took out the Chaos Dwarves. Like, yeah, the Greenskins didn't help either. Things like that. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. People are getting sick of our shit. Nurgle versus Wood Elves for Nurgle. 2 Chaos Furies, a Chaos Knight, 2 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, then some Marauders in the Frolickers Bubonic, more Chaos Knights, 3 total. Then we have a Chaos Lord and a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, who brought Curse of the Leper, Stream of Corruption, and Fleshy Abundance. On the other side, Wood Elves. 4 Dryads, triple Way Watcher, some Wild Riders and Glade Riders, including the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. And then we have a Glade Lord, Prey of Anathrema, and Arrow of Kurnos, and a Branch Wraith with Melkoths and Earthblood. I'm concerned for the Nurgle build because I feel like it's not very synergistic. We have Chaos Knights to run some stuff down, but then Marauder Horsemen in case of, I guess, Tree Blob. But I don't think 2 Marauder Horsemen is enough to take out the Tree Blob, and you don't have anything else to back that up, so... I generally just think Cursed Leper is a bad spell. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I never see this really do that much. I like Stream. I like Fleshy Abundance. Just go with those two. Fuck Curse. Catching live for a change. Love your tournament streams and lore rants. Hey, never at Mister. Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you. Who is messaging me? Does funny, it looks like. What are the Way Watchers gonna shoot at? What they gonna do? I mean, they should probably shoot at the Frolickers. These guys get regeneration when they're in melee, and melee damage reflection. So if you can take them out of range, it's a pretty big win for you. Nurgle has taken the point though, so the Wood Elves are on the clock. They have to do something. If we're all just gonna sit around, then Nurgle is winning. The Wild Hunters of Kronos are gonna take a charge. There's nothing really to stop them from doing so, but they back off the last second. They don't want it. And Way Watcher's gonna fire at Shielded Knights. The insane armor piercing getting through them though, and those are only bronze shield. Still being assaulted on all sides is Catherine Law. Very hard difficulty is intense. It is pretty intense, and Catherine's campaign is not easy. Yeah. Wild Riders get caught napping as the Way Watchers fall behind them. The Way Watchers falling behind them is fine, but the Wild Riders did need orders to countercharge, so now they're just getting caught a little bit with their pants down. Wild Hunters of Kronos going to charge in behind and do good damage to those Chaos Knights as Glade Riders try and peel the many Furies that are coming in. Pravenoth Rema, is that going to be out? No. Just the Arrow of Kronos trying to snipe some of the heroes. Gotcha. Glade Riders chasing down Marauder Horsemen. That's a fine use of their time as Nurgle's infantry are moving up, but they are taking a lot of damage. These Chaos Furies are getting super close to Demonic Instability crumbling, and that's a lot of value off the board. Meanwhile, the Way Watchers are just lighting up the Chaos Knights of Nurgle. The Chaos Knights are meant to be tanky. They don't do that much damage, as we can see here. They got a free... two of them got a free charge on this Wild Rider, and it's only at half HP. That is generally why I hate Nurgle and think Nurgle is bad, is they're built to be defensive and tanky in a game that doesn't reward that behavior at all. Way Watchers are still firing in. What are they shooting at now? The Chaos Lord. I would much prefer it if they'd shoot at the multi-entity models. They have an easier time hitting it. We can see here that they haven't really fired in a while because he's completely surrounded in cavalry, so they can't see. Now they're going to shoot the Chaos Knights. Get good damage out. Just kill your enemy's mobility units, and then your Way Watchers are free and clear to do whatever they want. I think that's probably a good solution here. Dryads and the Branch Wraith holding the front line. They will actually win this front line fight. 4 Marauders and the Frolickers Demonic versus 5 Dryads and a Branch Wraith. 5 Dryads and a Branch Wraith will actually win that. Some Marauder Hunters try and come back here. Marauder Horsemen, sorry. They're not Hunters, that's Norska. But the Way Watchers and a wounded Glade Rider will quickly peel those guys away as the Chaos Lord is still trying to find something to do. Something is getting cast here. It is a Fleshy Abundance onto a pretty damaged Chaos Knight with 30 models left. You can resuscitate a lot of that HP, so that'll be fine. The only walk I've had with Cursed Leper is matchups getting dogs tricked. Wait. Putting it on dogs and tricking Elite Kevin and charging them. I see. Is it confirmed that Kislev will get a rework? I have not heard anything about that. No. You overcast a curse on those knights, which is definitely a mistake. Yeah, I missed that. It doesn't seem like it did anything. Way Watcher's still free and clear to keep firing. Chaos Knights of Nurgle struggling to really get any damage out. Curse the Slug is popped onto these Wild Riders, and the Wild Hunters of Kurnoss slowing them down. But slowing them down to do what? The Way Watcher Friendly Fire is doing more damage than you, Nurgle, you shitty Chaos Knight user. I hate it. I hate Nurgle. I think that faction sucks. Pravenoth Rema locking the Chaos Knights in place while Wild Riders charge back in. Another Arrow of Kronos goes down and pokes at something for some reason. I don't actually see what it hit, but I'm not seeing too much damage on the caster or the Lord, so they seem fine. The 3 Chaos Knights are all incredibly wounded. One of them already got a Fleshy Abundance heal. Way Watchers continue to fall back. Good amount of ammo for them considering how late in the game we are. Wood Elves very far ahead on the bounce power, and I would agree, as a Branch Wraith is just spamming out Earthbloods on her front line. Marauders getting routed off by Dryads. These Chaos Knights still trying to do something, but the Wood Elf Cav at this point is healthier. Their Kislev rework is confirmed. Weird. I hadn't heard anything about that, and they just got a DLC too, which feels strange, with Shadows of Change. already getting reworked. When can Vampire Counts get a rework? Or a DLC? Or both? Or either? Marauder's getting cycle charged a bit. Weight Watchers still just hanging back, keeping their ammo for when they need it. Looks like Nurgle was trying to group up for a Fecundity, but they got a Rot or Die. Yeah, they got a Rot or Die, and the Wood Elves just kite away from them. Nurgle's doomed. I hope Bretonnia gets something similar, plus Minas de Lac. Yeah. Bretonnia could use one of those, like, DLCs like they did with the Beastmen, got Torox after their release. I'm trying to think what other DLCs got DLCs. Ogre Kingdoms just got one. There's more, but I'm being stupid. Wood Elves. Wood Elves got a DLC after being a DLC. That's why I'm still hoping for the Vampire Coast and Tomb Kings to get another shot. Would also like Norska, obviously. Obviously Norska. Didn't they just get Graveguard with Halberds? Oh, big who cares about the Graveguard with Halberds. That doesn't solve any of their problems. Vampire Counts have such big problems that Graveguard with Halberds are not going to fix. Nurgle has a lot of capture points, and I guess we're pretty far away, but there's nothing stopping the Wood Elves from just running the cav over here and taking that. Infantry are all pretty low, single entities are healthy, but that won't matter for too much longer. The Chaos Knights and Nurgle are about to get shot by the Weight Watchers, hopefully in the back, while their shields aren't facing the right way, and that should delete the rest of the unit. The Weight Watchers are going to be distracted, saving themselves from skirmish cav briefly. Cryptical's got an extra 15 armor. You shut up about your complaints. Another Arrow of Kuranos is out on the Chaos Knights. Is that like... I can't tell if the Wood Elves are being really passive or something, but I feel like this game should have been over a while ago. I feel like they're just having issues solidifying it. Paravonoth Rama is out onto the Chaos Lord of Nurgle, removing any missile resist he had as the Weight Watchers fire in. But he is a small single entity. Pretty hard to hit for those Weight Watchers, even when he's netted. I would like to see them just finish off the Chaos Knights of Nurgle. It's more guaranteed value. Wood Elves are starting to take the point now. Whereas my Norska boys have gotten new units to tomorrow. Whoa, Artemis Shake! Artemis, that is flat out a lie. With the last DLC, they just got a unit. They got Skyla and Fingrid. They just got him. And he's not even campaign exclusive. He's a real boy. You can take him. So you are a liar and a fiend. Do you think Plague Bearer should get something like 10% missile resist or 15? Maybe. Honestly, more like 20. Even 20, they'd still be weak to archers, but yeah, 20% missile resist could be nice. For the Wood Elves, the Weight Watchers got a lot of value. Not shocking. Watchers Kurnos also did quite well. Yoshai just did what he needed to versus Nurgle. You just shoot the piss out of him with arrows and kite back. There's not a whole lot they can do about it. Nurgle is usually countered by arrows, even though he's heavily armored and has shields and stuff. A hero unit? Yeah. Nurgle's heavily armored and has shields and stuff, but like his whole roster is just so bad at shutting down archers. And archers are a unit where if most range units, if they use all their ammo, they get twice or 3 times their value. So if you take a bunch of range units and Nurgle takes a bunch of tanky melee units, your archers can kill quote unquote 2 or 3 units. So Nurgle just gets attritioned out. Warriors of Chaos? Warriors of Chaos have been eaten so good. They get all the units. They get all the DLC units. Actually, Warriors of Chaos did get a DLC in Warhammer 3. They got the Champions of Chaos. Yeah. Alright, next up, Gordon Ramsay versus the Luna Pruna. Luna not taking their Lizardmen. Leaving me confused and scared. Current rate of buffs, Norska Berserkers will be running so fast they do impact damage. Yeah, every patch Norska just gets some walk speed buffs, which is really dumb. Alright, Gordon Ramsay on Warriors of Chaos versus Luna Pruna on the Tomb Kings. For the Warriors of Chaos, we have triple Chaos Warrior of Khorne with halberds, 4 Blood Beasts of Khorne, Azazel up in the sky with Rampage and Lash, and then we have some Martyr Horsemen, flanking dogs, flanking Hellstriders. That's about it. Aside for the Tomb Kings, we give a Skeleton, Spearman, and Warrior frontline. Double Kitty Cats, the new flavor of the Tomb Kings. Cetra and the Sphinx Usef. And then backing them up is some Archers, the Kepler Guard, Chosen the Gods, and some Skeleton Horsemen and Horse Archers. Tomb Kings are going to have to... Well, not Tomb Kings. Chaos is going to have to use their enhanced mobility against these guys. Take as many melee fights as you can with the Skeleton Horse Archers. And just beat them down that way. Mob the Chosen of the Gods, and then let your Halberds and Blood Beasts of Khorne churn through everything else. Lucerion's Incantation of Vengeance on the Blood Beast. It does okay damage versus Monstrous Infantry, but it mostly does damage versus Cavalry type units, or Infantry, I guess. Blood Beasts have too few models, so some of the damage is getting cut off. Already the Blood Beasts have gotten through onto some Skeleton Archers, taking them out. Dogs trading nicely with Skeleton Horse Archers as well, but Cetra's going to tear out off one of the dogs while other Skeleton Horsemen keep firing in. Hellstrider's getting good damage on the Chosen of the Gods. Did have to get a Nero's Incantation of Protection for 40% more physical resistance. That'll help them against the Hellstriders quite a lot, as Skeleton Horsemen and the Double Cats come in to help out. But the Tomb King's frontline is getting massacred in the meantime. Chaos Warriors with Halberds. Even though they are Halberds, they are Khorne Halberds. They have pretty high melee attack without that. They're churning through those guys nice and fast. Kepler Guard are getting to eat Blood Beasts. Blood Beasts don't want to sit and fight elite infantry like that. In comes the Ushopti Summon. That'll help the Tomb King's bounce power even further. But I do think that bounce power is a little optimistic on the Tomb King's side right now, as a lot of their chaff is dying. You really wouldn't want to be the two Kitty Cats in the late game versus all these Halberds with Rampage. Without Rampage, maybe, sure. But if you get Rampage in the Khorne Halberds, oof. That's going to be a bad time. Blood Beasts do take a lot of damage. Wow. Look at that Ushopti Summon. Shows up, gets slapped right back into the ground, already below half HP. It did show up on Halberds, it did show up in Blood Beasts, I get that. I'm not doubting it, it's just funny. Marauder Horsemen cutting away from the Skeleton Horsemen, and yeah, I think this is pretty even, maybe even Chaos favored, honestly. Not the matchup, just this immediate moment. As the bounce power says Chaos is doomed, I say I disagree. Blood Beasts routing off. Skeleton Horse Archers trying to take a fight with the Blood Beasts. They are gonna maybe rout these guys. Rear charge is a hell of a drug. With the Halberds nearby and winning in melee combat, that's a lot of leadership boons. Do need to rally these Hellstriders and dogs. Shadows of Change will offer individual purchase options alongside updates to featured races. We're working on a plan next year to bring key changes to Kislev's content. I see. Pretty sure it's a legal number of marks and where he's cast. Not my problem, not my tournament, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. Are Blood Beasts not a marked unit? The tournament rules, if he's using fruit rules, usually just makes them a marked unit because they're supposed to be. Tournament rules usually custom override CA's oversights. Dwarves still need some major nerfs? Yeah, no. Dwarves need major nerfs. Fuck that faction. I'm not usually a dwarf hater. I like dwarves, but they have been so oppressively strong or cheesy for so long. I'm just sick of their shit. I'm sick of their shit as the Kepler Guard are fighting back against Tomb Guard Halberds. Chaos Warrior Halberds, the Tomb Guard are fighting back against. Azazel taking a bit of damage here and there, but he's overall still very healthy. And the two big cats, to no one's surprise, are still extremely healthy for the Tomb Kings in the late game, but this is where it's about to get hairy for them. Chaos is going to clean up the last of their infantry, then everybody should group up around the point, and every time you use a rampage on the Tomb King's cats, they should take an indiscriminate amount of damage. Just to all the damage, all of them. Slayers are amazing for their cost, they're super effective in cannons. Don't know why they still have some amazing accuracy. Dwarven cannons should be strong. Yeah, they should probably just be more expensive. Thunderbarge should be destroyed in the pit. Kill it with fire. Fuck Thunderbarge. Halberds fully surrounding the Sphinx of Usef with Blood Beasts just holding it in place. Blood Beasts are very nice for this. Their mass is good at just making sure that the Tomb King's cats can't constantly cycle charge through your Halberds. So now they're just sitting on these good Khorne Halberds. Oof. 1250 value. To me, the Dwarves should have been the faction that can field strong units, but far and few between since they're elite in their own right. Yeah. Kind of like Kislev, honestly. Kislev's crazy expensive right now. Dwarves are strangely cheap. Looks like the Tomb Kings are doomed. The Doomed Kings. So last the Kepler Guard are going to get finished off. We still have 2 pretty healthy halberds, a bunch of cavalry to block Tzeentch in those halberds, even though it is all out of ammo. It's just Marauder Horsemen. It's their bodies we need. We don't really need their damage or anything. Don't need their stats. And Chaos has the point too. Tzeentch charging in with one last incantation of protection. Looks like he's going to try and Lord Snipe Azazel. If he can do that, maybe he can tear out everything else off. Maybe. It seems unlikely. Also, he just wants to get rid of that rampage so he can't get rampage back into all the halberds. But it is not meant to be. Tzeentch's not even that good of a duelist, to be honest. Pavane, rampage is out, but he's currently surrounded by Marauder Horsemen. He's not even surrounded by halberds, so I actually think that was a little premature. A little premature of a rampage. Now he's getting dragged back into some halberds. Immediately knocks them away, though. What? You what? I just heard Chaos Warriors with halberds say they lust after the Dark Prince's name, and that's not right. That ain't right, son. Tzeentch gives himself a bunch of physical resistance. There's no way out. Tzeentch man, no way home. The Dwarf Warrior's legit like 450. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. They should be like, your description sounds like Kislev, and I'm like, yeah, the dwarves should probably be similar to that. I agree. Azazel sniping out Tzeentch. There's no hope, so I'm just gonna fast forward. He can't win. Sun's out of it. It's a win for Gordon Ramsay. Blood Beasts and Chaos Warriors did very well. Skirmish Cav also did quite nicely. For La Luna, the cats usually don't get a ton of value. Just cause mass disruption, so I'm not shocked to see Tzeentch's value is pretty low. Same with the Sphinx. Kepler Guard did fantastically though. 2,300 value on those guys grinding through halberds. Stuff too expensive. Hobs are too expensive. Yeah. I proposed the balance change for CA, where I just said pretty much cost decrease every Chaos Dwarf infantry that doesn't have blasting charges. So they're all a little too expensive for what they do. I'm being joined by a kitty cat. Hi, kitty cat. More Nurgle. Gormbjorn versus Spyrat. Dark Elf Kite versus Nurgle. Okay. Sure. Why not? Why am I still getting so many texts right now? Okay. Okay. For Nurgle this time, we have 2 Plague Drones of Nurgle, 2 Chaos Furies in the Vanguard, then some Marauders, Chaos Warriors, 3 Pestigors, the Rotting Riders, Chaos Lord of Nurgle, and a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle with Curse of Leper and Stream of Corruption. Okay. On the other side, we have a Bloodrack Medusa, who is extremely good at shooting infantry, especially armored infantry. Then we have a High Beastmaster and Scourge on a Chariot, a Firecaster with just piercing... Wow. Just piercing bolts of burning. Okay, that's a little insane. Cold One Knights, Dread Spears, Triple Dark Rider Peter Crossbow, and then we have the Blades of the Blood Queen, Harganeth, Executioner, ROR. This Dark Elf build is wild, and I don't believe in it. I think bad things will happen to it. He's trying to use the Tormentor Sword and Piercing Bolts of Burning combo. Okay, that's neat. Piercing Bolts of Burning wears off, though, and still... Sorry, the Tormentor Sword net wears off. Piercing Bolts Burning wasn't on the ground quite yet. The Rotting Riders do run away to safety, where they can heal up. And the skirmish continues. All 3 repeater crossbows trying to shoot the Plague Drones, take out the enemy's mobility, and that is Kite 101. The infantry will always be there, slowly marching towards you. You can just ignore them. As both those Plague Drones, those are 900 gold units or more. What are they, 1,100 actually? They're both below half HP. Ugh. Yuck. Cold Knights coming in. They'll kill Chaos Furies really fast. Even though Furies don't give them their bonus versus large, Cold Knights just outstat them really hard. Today's secret meta is Curse the Leopard, I guess. Necromancer. Every new player tournament has one secret meta, and today is Curse the Leopard. On the far side, Golden Knights get a really good fight with the Rotting Riders. That is a 2v1 of units that are already going to beat your ass. Cursed Leopard upgraded, Rot or Die. Going to help out as well. Golden Knight's taking a ton of damage. But so are you, my friends. So are you. The far side, Blades of the Blood Queen join the fight against the Plague Drones. Other Plague Drones really close to Monica Spilly crumbling. Blood Medusa does not still want to be in this fight. And some Dark Rider Peter Crossbows also getting caught by Chaos Furies. Some of the skirmish elements not being kept safe is going to be a problem. Rotting Riders getting low, but not dead just quite yet. Golden Knights and Spears are just busy trying to finish those guys off. Where is Murderous Prowess? Has it popped yet? Because they really need it right about now. Another Piercing Bolts of Burning is out. This one onto the Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. Yeah, a little bit of damage, still not great. There's a reason you never see that spell. There is Murderous Prowess. Now Nurgle's fucked. Because if these Golden Knights were going to rout, it would be before that proc. Now they have 15 more leadership and better stats. The Rotting Riders are gone, leaving the Lord and Hero all on their own. We do have some Repeater Crossbows coming back in the distance. They do need to get over here nice and quickly. Plague Drones barely clinging to their leadership, clinging to their lives. There's one Chaos Fury left. After you take out that Chaos Fury and the rest of that Plague Drone, your Skirmish Cab is like literally uncatchable. Because everything else is just a single entity or infantry, which you can easily kill off. Blades of the Blood Queen should be able to beat some basic Marauders of Nurgle, and it looks like they are. They're taking more damage than I would like in return for it, but they are doing it, technically. Skirmishers get caught again. Blood Medusa needs to turn around and fire at this big old clump of Pestigores. That'd be a good spot for her to shoot at. Instead fires over there. Still decent shot. Just clustered up infantry is generally good. And this skirmish cap still has not been rallied, so the Dark Elves having a couple misplays with their kite build. Gonna get caught out unawares. Yeah, Fury's gonna catch that Dark Rider. The two Dark Riders have taken a lot of damage. They don't have that much DPS left to them, unfortunately, and the Medusa's trying to fire in. So this is pretty close at the moment. Rotting Riders were not chased off. They have two models. Those two models are heal capped. As you notice, they're not getting healing anymore, so the most health they can have is 520 between the two of them. Golden Knights got some damage out on the Lord. Probably needed to back off. And other Marauders and Pestigores are getting routed. We are losing the Dark Rider Peter Crossbows. Another one gets caught by Pestigores. Does not rout. Yes, manages to get to safety. For now, as the Blood Arc Medusa continues to fire in. But the spell looks so cool. It does look very cool. It looks very cool. It's also very slow to wind up, very expensive. It doesn't do that much damage considering both of those other aspects. But it is cool. Okay, Golden Knights trying to clear out these Chaos Warriors of Nurgle who are barely clinging to life. There comes another Piercing Bolts of Burning onto some Fleeing Pestigores. A little bit of damage here and there. And Cursed Leper's out. More armor. Some melee damage reflection for the Chaos Warriors of Nurgle as they try and fight back. Just a teeny little bit. Just a teeny tiny little bit. But they're going to rout, it looks like. Yeah, there they go. They can just get run down by heavy cav at this point. Dark Rider Peer Crossbows still trying to kill Plague Drones of Nurgle. It's taking them forever. It is very good against cav and single entities, though. Only if the single entities are super huge and they have a way of keeping them in place. The Tormentor Sword just doesn't last long enough for the Piercing Bolts of Burning to hit, as we saw. High Beastmaster's trying to kite away from the Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. Bloodwrack Medusa is also falling back. And get some good shots on the Pestigores. Let's go. Plague Drones just come back and take out this other skirmish cav if they can hold on to their leadership, and that's going to be quite painful for the Dark Elves. They also have the Blades of the Blood Queen chasing off Pestigores. So they do have to rally their forces and bring them back to the main fight, but it looks like Golden Knights might be able to carry this. Golden Knights are cracked after the last updates. So they're chilling, fighting against these guys. If Nurgle has a tier 2 fecundity, maybe they can rally this fight just by out-healing everybody else and then grinding through it. But if they don't have a fecundity, they're doomed. Something is getting cast on him, and it's another Curse the Leper. Big fans of Curse the Leper, apparently. Stand Your Ground is popped on the Dark Elf units, giving them more leadership and melee defense. The Chaos Lord Nurgle's leadership is getting quite low. Fury's going to come in for a rear charge. Plague Drones might also arrive. We'll see. And where is Fecundity? Tormentor Sword is out. Terror Out was already in. In comes the Piercing Bolts of Burning. 3 seconds left on that. Is the combo going to work? I'm having some serious deja vu. because the combo did work, but he did no damage to the Chaos Lord. He kind of hurt the Furies that were charging through them. Wow, this deja vu is actually intense. I've said that exact thing before. Anyway, the combo kind of worked, but it didn't do that much damage to Chaos Lord. It accidentally hit some Furies that happened to be charging through at that exact moment. Where is the tier 2 Fecundity? Nurgle needs it so bad, and there's no way they don't have it. That's insane. Have they been using Cursed Lepers off screen while I haven't been looking? Or what's that? That's Cursed the Slug? The tier 1. Whatever it is. Because the fact they haven't got any healing is wild. It's absolutely wild. And look at these guys, so desperately in need of healing. As the Furies and Chaos Lord charge over the High Beastmaster. Please, where is the Fecundity? Rod or Die is out for more leadership to make sure these Furies don't crumble away. This would be a perfect time for Fecundity. If Nurgle's gonna win this, they actually need it. That's the reason I keep talking about it so much. Another Cursed Leper is out. Dark Rod Pure Crossbows are firing in. The Medusa wanted to get a shot off onto their backs, but it looks like the Nurgle Goon Squad isn't gonna let it happen. They dive back in. Here comes another Piercing Bolts of Burning. Father of Blades is out. They're not gonna dodge the piercing bolts. They're just gonna fucking let it happen. Send it, brother! And they die in fiery glory. Remember that Zatan net Flames of Azor combo versus Bretonnia? That was pretty funny. That was really funny. I remember that one. That wasn't the quote I was thinking of, but that was a good one. Pest scores did fine. Rotting Riders did okay. Furies did well. Plague Drones did okay. Just proved really tanky. For Spy Rat, High Beastmaster, and the Firecaster. Firecaster got 2,050 value, which is pretty nice. With the little net combos. Argnath Executioners did well. Cold Knights did very, very well. Dark Red Pure Crossbows and the Blood Arc Medusa did fine. GG. Okay, I imagine I have a bunch of replays to go save. Let's go find those. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, there's a lot of replays. I haven't been saving, I've just been casting. Uh-oh. Oh, there's so many, what the fuck? I thought I was catching up, and then I found like 50 more. There's a lot of Nurgle today. Why? I'll be saving these for like 6 years. You guys carry on without me. Lizardmen Grand Cathay round 2. Didn't we already see that from you? Did you fight Grand Cathay again? What are the odds? Oh! Oh! Okay, we've got caught up. Jesus. Alright, Demons of Chaos versus Dark Elves. That is Blank versus Pasha. Okay. Oh boy, for Blank we have all the good shit. 4 Seekers, 2 Skull Cannons. Those are triple gold chevron regular Skull Cannons. Those are not the Hellforged Bellowers. What? He's trying to just hard kite him? We have a Herald of Tzeentch. I think he's on Burning Chariot, which is a terrible mount for the Herald of Tzeentch. It is just awful. It's hot garbage. And then he has Blue and Pink Fire, double triple gold chevron, triple gold chevron Hell Cannons, a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. Then we have 4 Seekers, 2 Pink Horrors, 1 of Sour Guts, and 1 Frolicker's Bubonic. The Dark Elves, we have the Raven's Herald, Crows of Cain, a regular Manticore. Rakarth on foot, Beastcaster on foot with Flock of Doom, then Witch Elves, Blackheart Corsairs, Dread Spears, and some Dark Riders. Oh boy, this is going to be a very slow one. The Dark Elves don't have a lot of counterkite, they don't have a lot of mobility, so they're just going to get run around while we watch Skull Cannon shoot at them until they're out of ammo. Soul Grinder does manage to rampage the Feral Manticore in, so Seekers can dive over, kill that guy instantaneously. As long as there's not a lot of friendly fire from these pink horrors. Yeah, the Manticore should die. Horrible, horrible death. Yeah, he's gonna shatter. Say goodbye to the Manticore. Meanwhile, pink fire and skull cannons firing into the Dark Elves. Just kiting them around. Crows of Cain decide it's better to be a part of the fight than outside it, I suppose. They're gonna wander up. Is typical chevroned skull cannon cheapen the RR? I'm not sure. It might be a little bit. I love how long it's taking them. Ooh, Flock of Doom just whiffs. It's overcast and everything onto a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. It's gonna do like literally no damage. It didn't even get through the barrier. So, unfortunately, just a waste of Winds of Magic. It's a tough start here for the Dark Elves. Is this the Rat Man? What up, Potato Salad? It's me. Are Manticores good at anything except their terror? No. No, they're actually terrible right now. Alright. Skull Cannon's still kiting, Soul Grinder's still kiting around. Blue Firecaster, Pink Firecaster doing his thing. Pink Fire unfortunately whiffs though. ×2 speed. Skull Cannon's running out of ammo, are soon gonna have to charge in there and just get some ammo back, but it looks like Tzeentch is plenty happy to just blue and pink fire cast. Seekers tear down the Crows of Cain, shatter them off, all the mobility's gone. And you continue to get kited. And before anybody says, so land battle sucks, just do Conquest, this is Conquest. So the Hell Cannon overextends a bit, gets hit with Rakarth, but also all the skirmishers, these Blackheart Corsairs, just get to shoot the Skull Cannon. Triple gold chevron stats trying to keep it safe, but it is way overcommitting to this fight and taking a lot of extra damage doesn't need to be. So it is probably going to die. It is getting some decent damage back on Rakarth as it goes out, because he's infantry size, so it's bonus versus infantry applies for being a chariot. Witch Elves plus Dark Rider is going to catch that other one. Bounce power is pretty bad right now. Another pink fire is out. In come the Seekers, just deleting all these Black Corsair Hambos that are already weakened. Should get them routing pretty quickly. The Dark Elf box is falling apart. Bounce power is heavily in the Demon's Chaos favor, and I would very much agree. Another Flock of Doom is out. It is overcast. The overcast damage hurts the Sorceress quite a lot, and it doesn't do that much to the Seekers and the Frolickers of Bonic, unfortunately. A little bit of pink fire, friendly fire on the Seekers, plus just sitting in spears, of course, is going to get them killed. Unnecessary sacrifice. As elsewhere, Witch Elves are getting a great trade. They're getting to fight Seekers, which Seekers don't have high armor, so the Witch Elves just doing raw damage to them pretty much. No armor piercing needed for this job. Manticore's an okay mount. Yeah, it's an okay mount. Base Manticore sucks. Flock of Doomcaster looks like she's going to get routed. I don't know if the Dark Elves ever even got their murderous prowess, honestly. Demons of Chaos. Skull Cannons did great. Soul Grinder Tzeentch did okay. Seekers Dauphin finished off what needed to be finished off, and then Pink Horrors did fine. For Pasha, there was just nothing this build could do. Glean Magic is an interesting choice of spell. I don't know if he had Glean Magic, but no, I generally still think it's pretty bad, honestly. You're way better off just spamming Blue Fire. Which SEM is the best tasting milk? Brood Horror. Brood Horror, easy question. Okay, so that was the end of round one stuff. No, there's a couple more round ones. Dust Bunny told me this was meh. I'm just gonna believe him that it was meh. Then we have Orion versus Jack Swag. Oh, that is a Stormvermin Halberd. I hope box. If you only have 4 infantry, I hope you're boxing versus Beastmen, otherwise you're gonna get completely destroyed. I wonder if he's trying to copy my build for the World Cup? No. Okay, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work at all. He's got gold chevroned rat ogres, 4 stormvermin halberds, 2 poison globes, 2 Jezzails, sorry, a Jezzail and avalanche mortar, and then 2 gutter runners and a claw. He's gonna get overrun. Like, you don't have to get past the stormvermin halberds, you can just walk around them. Like, his entire backline is open. For the beastmen, we have chaos warhounds, centaurs, pestigores, ungor herds, ungor spearman herds, and then some chaos spawn, morgar, and a traitor king caster. But yeah, once the beastmen get onto those range units, it's gonna be over. Stormvermin will hold against this front line for quite a while. Avalanche mortars don't even get a shot off. It looks like they don't have fire at will on, as the Warplock Jezzails and them get attacked by doggos. Morgar throws out his voluntary Chaos Spawn Summon right away, realizing that they can just get onto the range units to take them out. He just wants to blitz really quick here. Centaur's running through the Gutter Runners. Gutter Runners do okay in this situation, but they usually need to be backed up by the Wolf Rats. There we go. Wolf Rats backing them up. They can beat Centaurs pretty nicely, but without that, they are just going to get run down. So the Gutter Runners are already offline. The Avalanche Mortar and the Jezzails are offline. The Globes are trying to get some shots off here and there, though it's not really working out. Now the Razor Pigs will get them. Razor Pigs, with their very high AP weapon strength, will kill the Poison Globes quite easily. Even dogs and these Korngors get through these guys. So all the Skaven Rangers shut down. The balance power is horrendously against them, and I would definitely agree. Even the Stormvermin aren't holding that great. 1 is about to rout. 2 are full health, and 1 is half HP already. His Ichid is trying to hold with his Stormvermin. Unlimited power is procced. Does have Cleansing Ruin. Why do you take the mortars in this matchup? I took it in a box to punish archers and centaurs and force my opponent to come to me. Why'd you take Chaos Spawn over Minotaurs? Unbreakable. Skaven hate unbreakable monsters infantry, because it's really hard to kill all their models off, and over time they're just annoying. Bust through your front line, shut down a bunch of things. Yeah. Army losses is coming in soon. Cleansing Rune is out for Make a Claw. It is undercast, so it's not even going to do that much damage to Morgar, who's just healing up through it. Army Losses is, for some reason, not taking the Skaven back to the Great Beyond. I have no idea what it's waiting for. Look at that bounce power bar. What? What? Okay, now I'm just fascinated at, did they turn army losses off somehow? Are they playing with the no army loss mod? Because that's not a real mod. What the fuck? There we go. Skaven take first loss ever. Oh yeah, they've never lost before, for sure. No, that, unfortunately that build is like the exact opposite of what you need. You need a lot of melee to defend some range and get good damage value out of it, rather than a lot of range to defend some melee. You just get overrun. Yeah, can't do it. You can't take your campaign armies around here. That's also a wild build. Okay, Hellion versus I'm Not That Clever. I don't think we've seen either of these people either, so let's check it out. Losing a few thousand Skaven. That's the thing, they didn't even lose a few thousand Skaven. They lost a few hundred, because that build was very small. Very small. Hellion with his Lizardmen versus I'm Not That Clever's Vampire Coast. Used to be a terrible matchup for the Lizards. I think they got some teeth in it after all their buffs. But let's see. 2 Chameleon Skinks on the front line, just trying to skirmish a little bit. Cold One Riders, Feral Cold Ones, Skink Cohorts, Red Crested Skinks, so just a lot of cheap infantry to sacrifice to the undead, and a lot of Cold Ones. A lot. We have a Legion of Chakwa for a Sora Spear, and then a Slan Mage Priest of Fire with just Burning Head, Banishment, Blood Statue, and Spite. Lots of damage. The other side for the Vampire Coast, triple Bomber Mob. Bunch of random deck hands. We do have a Carronade and 2 deck gunners to stop the Lizardmen from kiting or sitting in a blob or doing anything silly. 1 hand cannon, 3 depth guard, one of which has pole arms, Lamper's Revenge, Celestial Deerfawn with Tide Call and her Ghost Summon, and then a Vampire Fleet Captain of Vampires with Invocation, Heck, and the Power Stone. I do worry that this Vampire Coast build is a little too narrow, similar to the Skaven we were talking about last time, where I feel like the Lizards just throw their bodies at them, they'll overrun this backline easily and then shut down all these ranged units. Damn Knight's Errant Summon is a little far from the fight. They have an incredibly short summon time, so they're going to spend a lot of their time walking towards the fight and not actually getting one, unfortunately. It's not going to be ideal. Yeah, Lizardmen just kiting back away. They don't want to take this fight with the Damn Knights Errant. They're just going to let the summon run out as it tries to run them down. It's down to 1 minute left on the battlefield. Red Crested Skink ROR gets into the bomber mobs and chop through those guys nice and easy. The Damn Knights Errant on the far side still just being ignored by the lizards. Damn you, lizards. As Velociraptors mob the Lamper's Revenge. That is a lot of Cold Ones all going to fight those guys. Not Cold One Spear Riders, so it won't be the worst thing in the world, but it's still pretty bad. For the Lamper's Revenge, they will take a lot of damage. Considering how expensive they are, obviously they'll trade HP-wise fine with these guys, but these guys are a lot cheaper. Damn Knights Errant down to 23 seconds left. Still can't find a fight. Phoenix King, that is a dirty lie. It's a dirty lie. As other Cold One Riders get caught up in zombies and depth guard. Still trying to get damage on Lamper's Revenge. They're getting a bit, but a lot of it's getting regenerated through. And the Damn Knights Errant do manage to get a charge before they will fade away in 2, 1. There they go. So Vampire Coast is getting drawn out. Pushed out of their formation. What is nice is the Carronade has been sniping at the Slan this whole time, and that is a fantastic target. Deck Gunner is also in range to now start shooting at him, it looks like. But yeah, Carronades do really, really well against Slans. Slan's missile resistance doesn't help them too much here. They're just really big bodies that take a lot of damage. It's not a healing Slan, so all that damage will stick. Now these Cold Knights, now that they've successfully kited out the Damn Knights Errant, they do have to get involved. They have to get into this backline, because the Vampire Coast did something nice in that they pushed out really far with all their infantry, giving their ranged plenty of room to shoot without being compromised. Unfortunately for the Lizardmen, I think they just needed to swarm harder. Like, we have a lot of melee units standing around doing nothing, or the cavalry were kiting out the Damn Knights Errant, which was fine, but they needed to get activated much faster. Because they just needed to overwhelm the backlines of the Vampire Coast. That didn't quite happen. Slan is now dead. Lizardmen losing some leadership. They're a rather stalwart faction, not as crazy as the High Elves or the Dwarves or something, but Lizardmen are no cowards. As Cold Ones and Feral Cold Ones and all these guys are trying to stop things. Carronade is going to get shut down. Looks like both deck gunners stay online for now, though that is short-lived as Cold One Riders are coming in. They'll kill the deck gunners super fast. Deck gunners have crazy low HP. A preemptive Invocation to Heck trying to keep them alive. Lizardmen are quite far behind in the balance of power. Maybe they can bring it back. Lamper's Revenge are very low. I wonder where their healing cap is as Chameleon Skinks continue to throw darts at them. And Lizardmen can make a lot of balance of power back by just killing these deck gunners. I mean, the Carronade's about to fade away too, taking all that ammo with it. So what are we doing about 3 depth guard? Looks like we're trying to kite them with Chameleon Skinks. That will do a lot of damage. That's quite nice. We don't have any summons, so we know all these zombies are real. The Court of Sotek catch the deck gunners. So both deck gunners will be shut down, bringing Lizardmen back into this. No one's captured the capture point yet, so that doesn't seem to matter. And with Chameleon Skinks shooting these Lamper's Revenge in the back while fighting the Legion of Chakwa on the front, could actually take out that elite ROR. And you have to remember there's some fraudulent balance of power with double casters on the field for the Vampire Coast that are both terrible in melee and have a limited amount of Winds of Magic. Cold One Riders recharging the hand cannons, that's pretty huge. Cold One Riders, not Feral Cold Ones, their leadership will hold a little bit longer and they'll get a bit more damage out. And yeah, the Lizardmen are really scrapping this back. Besides losing their Slan, things are looking good for them. As the Depth Guard should finish off the Court of Sotek over time, but if you take those hand cannons out and the Lamper's Revenge, which are now gone, that's huge. One of the Depth Guard is about to die. All those Chameleon Skinks and Feral Cold Ones can cycle charge them, obviously. The only thing I'm really worried about is what kills Celestra in the late game. Not that she's really that much of a menace, but she is terror-causing and small, and it's not great for Cold Ones to fight her. What up, Captain Telis? You entered chat at a weird time. A depth guard did fade away in the background as these hand cannons are about to meet the same fate. So for the undead, we have a full health zombie. Full health depth guard with pole arms, though who knows where its healing cap is, because I've seen this one fighting for quite a while. A half health depth guard, again, wonder where that healing cap is. Full health Celestra, half health vampire caster. For the Lizardmen, Legion of Chakwa are quite healthy. A lot of chameleon skinks left on the board, but not a ton of ammunition. And then we have feral cold ones and cold one riders who are trying to get anything done. One is running away from a vampire caster and failing to get to safety. How fast are you? 38? How fast are you? 59? Get out of there. How are you still stuck here? Feral Colden's going to beat up on random zombie deckhands mobs while the chameleon skinks move up, continue firing at the depth guard. Nice little tide call down the line of a bunch of lizard units. Just does like teeny tiny poke. Teeny tiny little poke. Little pokes. Gold chevron roguers greater than all? Clearly not. We have proven that. So Lizard's still scrapping back for every inch of balance of power they can get as these Cold Riders rear charge zombie pyrotech hands mobs to get rid of them. They are too low at this point. They'll crumble away to nothingness, so I kind of hope the Lizardmen don't invest too much in killing off those zombies. Do need to kill the depth guard. Do need to save something to kill the depth guard polearms on the high ground, which actually a rear charge from Cold One Riders did quite nicely. Took a big chunk off those guys' HP. Chameleon Skinks have revealed the depth guard do have a healing cap, and it is close, as these other Cold One Riders are getting good damage on the vampire fleet captain of vampire. She does not have the hunger, so she does need to cast Invocation of herself, Invocation of Heck on herself if she wants any healing whatsoever. And the depth guard have chased the Chameleon Skinks back into a corner. Now the Chameleon Skinks have no ammo left, so they just charge the depth guard, who do start healing because their hunger in melee passive means they get healing when they're in melee with something. Put a rear charge from the Legion of Chakwa. Dangerously close to getting these guys to crumble, which is huge, versus a regenerating unit. You can usually just use crumbling to like mitigate all of their healing. But not quite getting the crumbling yet. Lizardmen have brought the balance power almost back to 50-50, which is very concerning when you're a vampire coast with 2 casters on the field. The depth guard are starting to crumble. Big win for Lizardmen there. So are these zombies. And the Cold Riders are not giving up, chasing around this vampire fleet captain, just shutting her down. And on the high ground, apparently cycle charging and these red crested skinks have done a number on the depth guard polearms, and that is huge. Losing this depth guard with polearms is brutal. Other depth guard also about to die, and that is probably the end of the vampire coast here. I don't know where they bring the damage from after this point. I mean, those depth guard are toast. She's dead. It's just Celestra. Can she truly terror out everything? I would think not. Invocation of Heckcaster just going to die off at this point. Golden Riders are still beating up Celestra. She has 3,000 HP, which is tiny. She does have 55% physical resistance, but it's not really that much to help you, honestly. Damn. Good clawback from Lizardmen. It was tough. It was tough early losing your Salon. But they got it done. Celestra trying to tear out off the Golden Riders, but they just aren't really having it. Some stuff is starting to rout as it comes back in, then it shatters. But we're losing the Vampire Casters. There's no hope of healing whatsoever. And the Legion of Chakwa can turn and grind through this zombie Protect Hands mob. And Celestra just can't kill all this stuff. I mean, she's struggling to even kill an already almost dead Golden Rider. That ain't happening. I'm gonna save replays while you guys watch Celestra die, so you don't have to wait for me as much. Looks like round 4 is live. 4 out of 4, and then we'll get our semifinals and finals and stuff going. Dun, 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 dun. Celestra still alive? Wow. Okay. Go her, go. Like I said, I'm saving up replays right now. Dun, 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 dun. How many replays are there? How? How are there so many? I'm furious. There, Jesus. Okay, I'm back, and this is still going, huh? Legion of Shakwa finally got their mitts on Celastra. They'll finish her off, surely. Nice comeback for the Scalies. Yeah, they did great. Hey, Malvi, it's been a while. How you doing? So it's good if dinosaurs kill water vampires? Yeah, it's great. Okay, she's doomed. She doesn't have any tide calls left. There's nothing here. There's nothing. She doesn't have any tide calls. Watch, she uses a tide call just to make me an asshole. No, not gonna happen. Ooh, tide call just to make me an asshole. Whee! Decent damage, but army losses takes her at last. And that was a good game. I don't know how Celastra lasted that long. She should have died a long time ago. But aside from that, really solid. Depth Guard, unfortunately, just showing their true colors, and the reason you don't see them very much these days. Depth Guard are just kind of bad. They die too easily to non-armor piercing things. Cannon did fantastically. Lampress Revenge did nice. On the other side, Firecaster got killed super early, but then the skinks, spam, especially the chameleon skinks, did very, very well. GG. Okay. So what is this? This was this. So who haven't I seen yet? We gotta find some people. So Dust Bunny and Grand Armée, I was told to skip this one. We have Tlan and Bonya Roja. I haven't seen either of those guys. Saw both those. I've saw both those. I've seen both those. We skipped Grand earlier. Tlan again. Zero. I don't know if I've cast any of Zero's games. I don't think I did. I don't know. There's an Arian. Okay, there's still a couple people we haven't cast at all. So let's do it. Tlan and Bonya Roja. Is that Mother Ostankia? I haven't seen that lady for multiple decades. She's been dead. She's been dead as hell. All right, for Kislev, we have Mother Ostankia with Witch Brew and Forbidden Fens, and then Spirit Bear. Weird. And a lot of cannons, apparently. Anyway, aside from that, there's 2 horse archers, armored Kossars in the front line, then we have regular Kossars in the back line, a Patriarch with his healing, Silix Lullaby, 2 things in the woods, and the Oath Brothers of Tor. Grand Cathay's cannons are gonna go nuts, is what I'm telling you right now. Good dodging for Mother Ostankia. Cannons should probably shoot the things in the woods or the bears. On the other side, we have Zhao Ming with his Dragon's Breath attack, and that's it. Frontline Jade Warriors, backline of Peasant Archers, Peasant Long Spears all around 2 cannons, an Alchemist with just Final Transmutation, and the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin up in the sky. Why do we have Final Trans on a caster that's not Zhao Ming? Feels odd. So the cannons are still firing. Now they're shooting at the Patriarch, who is on foot, but they can still do decent damage to him if they hit him. Bomp. Bomp. That's pretty good damage. Something was just cast. The Forbidden Fens. It lowers the speed of Zhao Ming. How expensive is that spell? 5. Feels a little spency. Cannons are now trying to fire at clustered up armored Kossars. They are in a formation that lets cannons shoot through multiple of them, but it's not really a target for cannons. Cannons do want to be shooting at the Oath Brothers Tor. So far, Kislev has been doing pretty good dodging a lot of that damage. Cannons haven't been able to do much here. I do like if you just separate what the cannons are shooting at, like have one shoot at the Oath Brothers Tor, have another one shoot at the Patriarch or Ostankia or something, and then you just stop them from being able to dodge all your stuff. The Spirit Bear is coming for these Peasant Archers. Side shot, and they're clustered. But he did try and dodge. Not enough. Still took a lot of damage. The cannons continue to try and take out the Patriarch, get rid of that healing. He heals himself, but he is currently on fire, so the healing is reduced by half as the Alchemist moves up with a big Foul Transmutation. It is Overcast. It's even going to hit some of the other Kislev units, but the Overcast damage almost takes her out as she's being shot. Kislev is just not catching a break here. Those cannons just missed two entire volleys. Yeah, that was kind of wild. Patriarch is so low, he's probably going to shatter as soon as his Dire Blood wears off. The cannons continue to harass, but the Kossars and Armored Kossars are in range to fire a bunch. The Peasant Archers are going to fire back a little bit. As what is this? A Goliath trying to heal him up. He's still probably too low to be healed, even by a Goliath. Things in the Woods going for a long flank. Kislevite Horse Archers are counter-skirmishing a little bit with Peasant Archers, taking a lot more damage than they bargained for, but they do rout off one of them. And Kislev has the point. Kislev's getting to use all their hybrid archers and shoot, so I guess they're pretty happy with that, as long as the cannons don't do a lot of damage in the meantime. So it depends. If you can keep dodging the cannons, then you're fine, as Mother Ostankia cleans up some more people. And the front line is almost gone. I really want to see Armored Kossars walk into melee now that the Jade Warriors are routing. You can really put the archers under pressure. The Oath Bros are just being forced to dodge constantly. Not a great time to be an Oath Brother. His cannon shots take out multiple bear models. Getting smoked. Peasant Archers trying to deal with the Kossars, not winning that. The Armored Kossars not moving up either, so they are accepting Grand Cathay's cannon punishment. I disagree. I disagree with this strategy. Nice breath attack from Zhao Ming down. It looks like it was Overcast as it almost lead an entire Armored Kossar. He's going to charge into it as well, but Fire Blood pops, so that guy's not going anywhere for like 25 seconds. Oath Bros Zator still trying to juke around as they continue to get shot. They literally haven't been able to do anything, just get shot at by cannons. Things in the Woods mob some Peasant Long Spears, maybe get rid of them, but in come the Righteous Lances Wei Jin, and that's a really good charge attack. They should be able to take out these Things in the Woods, though those guys are starting to back off. Both Bros Zator pop their little lightning thing, but it hits nothing as they are charging in now as Mother Ostankia puts down a Forbidden Fen again to slow and I guess make Zhao Ming sleepy. I guess. Another breath attack from him does do good damage, but he also damaged himself quite a bit while fighting the Oath Brothers. Fire Blood is popped, cannons still firing in, and now these guys are all nice and clumped up. They're not dodging anymore, so the cannon should be able to get more reliable hits in. As I say that, they just missed fucking everything for no reason. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's looking tough for Kislev unless they can find a way to shut down the cannons. Horse Archers might be willing to dive in. Suicide, do it with their Fire Blood, but looks like they're not gonna, so they're gonna back off, trying to stay alive. These cannons continue to hurt. And Zhao Ming is plenty capable of just healing up. These Things in the Woods are not the ROR that prevents all healing, which would be huge if his Van Braces popped and he got no healing. They're not that kind, so they are gonna tear out away. All of a sudden, Kislev is very far behind the balance of power. Another Goliath is out to offer a little bit of healing. But the cannons are unrelenting, so all the mass is getting pushed away. And Zhao Ming, actually, Zhao Ming should try and get hurt so he can get his big heal and just army loss the enemy. His big heal might just end it. Armored Kossars take another breath attack. He gets a couple hits on Mother Ostankia, who's going to fire a Spirit Bear at point blank range. Wait, that wasn't a Spirit Bear. That's a Spirit Bear. Bam. Instantly deletes Peasant Long Spear. But Zhao Ming and the Righteous Lances have her number, so it looks like Kislev is going to die anyway. Mother Ostankia gives herself Witch Broth, which heals a little bit, I suppose. That immune to contact effects from Witch Broth lasted like no time at all. Yeah, Vigor and immune to contact effects for such a low time. She's dead. Army losses is imminent, but not present yet. There we go. That's army losses. It's a win for Bonya Roja. For Tlon, it was tough. I think he used Mother Ostankia pretty well, except for her spells, because her spells are terrible, and there's no possible way to use them correctly. I'll die on this hill. Her spell lore is garbage. The lore of hags is the worst thing I've ever seen. But her spirit bearers were very good. Your dodging was very good with her. She did solidly. I think you just needed to go into melee sooner. When you broke that Jade Warrior front line, just like run your armored Kossars forward and force the cannons to deal with you somehow. And if they bring their peasant long spears forward to stop your armored Kossars, then your horse archers could have just flanked the cannons for free. Yee. For Mr. Roja, yeah, both his cannons did well after shooting for a long time. They finally started to do well. Then Zhao Ming and the Righteous Lances did fine. GG. GG. Okay. So we saw some more people. Let's find some friends. So here's Grande Armée, who we skipped their first game, so we'll do this one. Tomb King's Empire. It's a classic. This is actually kind of a classic build, too. Just swap out the Jade Wizard for a Burning Head caster, and this is what Empire used to take in Warhammer 2. There were a lot of ways to play it. This is one way. For La Luna, bunch of Sparkle Stalkers. Oh, gross. This is a trees map. Never mind. Those cannons aren't going to do shit. Okay, I'm very worried for the Empire. For the Tomb Kings, we have a bunch of skeleton archers, including the Blessed Legion of Flach, that provide armor sundering. Triple Sparkle Stalker, one of which is the Guys of the Desert. One who Shopty Greatbow, Chosen of the Gods, Arc in the Black with Spirit Leech and Fate Abuna, a couple Carrion, front line of Skeleton Spearmen and Skeleton Warriors, and that is it. Skeleton Horsemen, 2 Ice Bows. On the other side, we have 2 cannons trying to fire through an awful lot of trees, and Swordsmen and Spearmen for a front line, Boris Todbringer, the Royal Altdorf Griffites, regular Empire Knights, and a Jade Wizard with just regrowth. We have 1 Outrider with grenade launchers that if you can get in range of the skeletons will do a lot of damage to them. Cannons trying to shoot up and through all these trees. Some of the bullets are making it. Yeah, they're getting through. Tomb King's gonna take the point. Looks like Empire's not even gonna contest that. Could put their Chosen Gods just like literally in the trees and wait them out. No, capture the point though, please. Please capture the point. Force them to you. Fun tournament on? I hope so. I hope that's not sarcasm. We enjoy the efforts Big JP puts in. There we go. Tomb King's got the victory point. Good for them. How's the bracket doing? Looks like some people are done with their round 4. Carrion flying over that front line. Looks like they might suicide dive the great cannons. From a frontal angle, though, that might be tough. They might run into the cannon models and then just T-pose for a bit while Empire gets the free counter charge. Yeah, they get through all right. Good for you. This one, you see a little bit more of it, but overall, they're getting through. Harkin comes up with the skeleton summon. That is quite nice, but he can't afford to get caught out up here, so I would fall back if I was him. War wagons on the side, just shooting at skeleton horsemen for now. Sparkle Stalkers line up to make sure that they don't get any closer. And what is that? That is a Fate Abuna onto the Royal Altdorf Griffites. It does okay damage. Yeah, does okay. They have pretty high HP. They're tanky lads. Chosen the Gods firing it on some of the infantry, it looks like, because the skeletons are holding and the spearmen are generally routing. Plus, with a lot of archer support, those infantry are taking a ton of damage. Sparkle Stalkers lining up to maybe kite out those extra infantry, and the war wagons get snuck up on by the Eyes of the Desert. They now get orders to run away. Yes, the Desert stop, and they do need to shoot. There you go. Solid damage out from the Eyes, but they'll want to fall back. Don't want to get kited out too far away with those war wagons. Spirit Leech onto Boris Todbringer as he lands on the Chosen of the Gods, and he took some damage. And now Sparkle Stalkers are coming back to try and make him pay for diving on the Chosen here. Do need a regrowth for the Royal Altar of Griffites, and there it is. It's even overcast, which is great. Arc and Skeleton Summon fades away. The Carrion are about to die. Both cans were shut down, so that was a very worthwhile time for the Tomb King's Carrions. Now Boris is trying to chase the Chosen of the Gods, but Sporkle Stalker's going to chase him down easily. Should get some decent shots off every time he reveals himself from those guys, and they're just ignoring the Skeleton Spearmen. Oof, he's got nowhere to go. He's running from 2 different Sporkle Stalkers into a third one, plus a Spirit Lich. That is a lot of Lord Snipe, and this is probably the death of Boris here. Bap, bap, bap. Even the Chosen of the Gods joining in. Man, they don't want to let him live for nothing. It's probably going to shatter, if not outright die. Yeah, there he goes. The Empire have lost their Lord. They lost their debuffs. Generally, their leadership is going to start to falter. You see these state troops are thinking about leaving. This cannon is thinking about leaving, even though it just got back in here. The archers are firing once again at the Royal Altar of Griffites, who already got an overcast regrowth, so we know their healing cap is like right around the visible corner. And Empire's just going to FF. Oy. I didn't see the Outriders get to do much, unfortunately for them. Arkin and the Skellies didn't have to do too much. He had a clutch skeleton summon and some decent Spirit Leeches and whatnot. It's mostly value on the Chosen of Gods and some of the Sporkle Stalkers. The Empire, hard to get involved. Cannons did okay. Boris did alright, but it was just a toughie. Squeaky chair moment? Yeah. This is my quiet chair. The other chair is a little squeakier. Okay, so cast that one. We haven't seen any Anarian. If only Black Horse could do that to Boris. Yeah, Hayseed would have been nice. Okay. Let me take a look here. So we have Anarian, 0. I don't think I've cast either of their games. Joy Boy, I don't think I've cast either of his. Glorious Dust Bunny, we skipped at one point. I don't know if we've done Megatomic Dragon. And then that might be it before we've gotten everybody. Yes. Okay, so still a decent number of people to go before we've gotten everyone. This one. Anarian. Have Hellion again. Hellion mounted the Lizardmen comeback versus the Vampire Coast. Now he's against the Demons of Chaos. Your first game was really bad. Ashamed of it? I'm sorry you're ashamed of it. It's a new player tournament. Shit happens. Life carries on. Alright, ditch my sweatshirt. For the Lizardmen, Chameleons, Kinks, and Pharaoh Cold Ones, a bunch of Skink cohorts, double Quaddle, and then the Star Chamber Guardians surrounding a Life Salon with Regrowth. Then we have a Sacred Croc score as well. If you're only taking Regrowth as your spell, you probably shouldn't take Life Bloom, because you're not going to cast enough spells throughout the game to get Life Bloom to be worth it. On the other side, a lot of infantry, which you're not used to seeing with Demons of Chaos. Bloodletters of Khorne, Frolickers Bubonic, a bunch of Nurglings, 2 Blue Horrors, Zvark the Feathered Prince with blue and pink fire. Then we have a Changebringer, Seekers, and Chaos Furies. Changebringers can be deadly, especially if you shut down all the ranged of the opponent. Now with 2 flying Quaddles, that might be a little harder to do. We'll see. Demons of Chaos take the point pretty easily, as Bloodletters are forced to just run into Chameleon Skinks. They'll take a little bit of damage. Kite back and be okay, as Slan is going to throw down something. The hell is that? Oh, it's the Quaddle. There we go. The Bound Lightning Bolt. I was like, wait. Slan doesn't have Comet. What's going on? What's happening here? As the Feral Cold Ones dive into onto the Nurglings, Bloodletters down to about half HP as they just get kited out. And if those Changebringers and Seekers can't put a big impact on this game, that's going to be a pretty significant problem, because the rest of this is just chaff, honestly. Chaff to get those guys in a good spot. Quaddle's going to dive in. Lightning Breath its way through the front line, most likely. Do your Lightning Breath. Do it. Whatever, coward. Quaddle won't do its Lightning Breath. We are about to lose a Nurgling due to demonic instability. Elsewhere, we're also going to lose a Bloodletter. But a Seeker finally did Seeker things and killed an entire Feral Cold One in the blink of an eye. Chameleon Skinks will have a good time shooting at Seekers, especially running away and shooting at Seekers. The Seekers will catch them, but it'll be a good cost-effective trade for the Chameleon Skinks. Elsewhere, also another good engagement for the Lizardmen, taking out Seekers and Chaos Fury. So Seekers not having a great time so far. Demons and Chaos are going to have to do a lot of work to turn this one around. Seekers do catch the Chameleon Skinks, who don't appear to be trying to run away yet, so that will lead to a lot of damage onto those guys. There they go. They start to get movement orders now as Changebringers are up in the sky above them. 11 out of 12 models, still very powerful, especially if they can go over and shoot the Salon or shoot the Star Chamber Guardians or shoot anyone of that variety. Quaddle's getting the first regrowth of the game. He is not on fire, so all counts. Chameleon is getting routed off on that right flank, but bounce power and the center are definitely favoring the Lizardmen right now, killing off an awful lot of dudes. An awful lot of dudes as the Changebringers get a good shot in, but don't actually do that much damage to the Salon. And a Blood Statue despite for just that guaranteed damage on Changebringers, who are crazy squishy. 12 models, like 3,500 total HP. The Blood Statuette does a lot to them. It looks like Quaddle's going to harass those guys and make sure they keep falling back. Chameleon Skinks fire up and over the crowd into the Changebringers as well. Even while they are getting eaten alive by Seekers of Slaanesh, they still fire to help out the rest of the Lizardman roster. Dragons would embrace Spear Infantry. Lizards are just gross? Whoa. Whoa, what's going on with all the lizard hate? There's several factions a bunch more powerful than Lizardmen right now. Star Chamber Guardians just grinding it out. That is going to be a crazy banishment. No, it is a Thunderbolt thing, Chain Lightning. Does some damage to the Chaos Furies, then Lizardmen are lucky it went this way instead of back into the Star Chamber Guardians. That could have been very painful for them. Some serious friendly fire, but looks like it's going to work out overall. Seekers getting close to killing off the Salon. Cold-Blooded keeps him in the fight as he's going to regrowth himself. The Overcast damages a little bit, but the Overcast regrowth will definitely outpace it. And now a bunch of demons are falling. We're losing a blue Horror there, Bloodletter, Frolickers, and a Seeker all at the same time, so that is pretty nasty. Big loss for the Demons of Chaos. At this point, it's just the Changebringers. Everything else is spent. So can Svark and the Changebringers carry? I think not against the Lizardmen healing. Thunder Tusk is annoying, yeah. Ogres are also really strong. Ogres, Demons of Chaos, and Dwarves are currently the big three. Changebringers look like they're trying to fire volley at something. I saw a little bow and arrow show up, but not much came of it. Svark is going to fight a Quaddle. What can Changebringers do? Nothing, as a Quaddle catches them too. Gets through their barriers immediately because the barriers scale with how much HP you have left, so since they are so damaged, their barriers are really weren't that much. Quaddle's going to finish them off in one more hit. That'll demonic instability crumble them, and then honestly probably army lost the Demons of Chaos at this point. They've just lost too much, and Svark is the only thing they have. All their ground forces are dying, Changebringers are dying. Should be army losses. Huh, apparently not. Apparently Svark is just an insane amount of bounce power, I guess. Remember when demons were hot garbage and Be'lakor soloed everything? Yeah, it's before Seekers existed. And Skull Cannons. Well, Skull Cannons weren't that good. Bloodletter finally demonic instability crumbles, and that might be enough to tip us over the edge, because it might take the Nurgling with it, and then Svark will be alone. That'll send him over the edge. Nurgling's won leadership. There they go. As prophesized, they die, and then when they die, he dies. Goodbye, demons. Okay, am I needed for semifinal stuff? Looks like. Good damage value for the Chameleon Skinks, good damage value for the Quaddles. For Anarian, it was just tough. One of his Seekers did great, the other one didn't, and the Changebringers were, unfortunately, just a big dump of gold. Big old dump of gold. Okay, we gotta thin the herd. So was that Anarian? So we have semifinals soon and finals soon. I am very tired because I gave blood today and I feel like poop. So I'm just gonna focus on games that have people I haven't cast yet in them. Cast both those guys. Same one, cast both those guys. Cast that, but from the other side. Well, not yet, but we're gonna cast both these. I've not cast Joy Boy, so I'll leave it. Cast both these. I hadn't cast Zero yet, so I need to keep an eye out for Zero. I think I have one later. I haven't cast Dust Bunny yet. Holy shit. How is this possible? 1, 2, 3. And then we still need Zero too, right? Oh, there's so many people! That's crazy. It's utterly insane how many people there are. Why? Why must you do this to me? Looks like we're winning on one late game, folks. Okay. Well, I'm busy doing this. There's another Zero game. It has the Steam Tank in it and a Charybdis. What's the other Zero game? Oh, that was it. My bad. Okay, still doing this. Seen both those. Seen both those. Seen both those. Seen both those. Seen both those, and then this one is meh. So I was supposed to skip it. Okay, it looks like we have 4 games left, and then semifinals and finals. Got it. I could probably do one more replay before I'm needed for semifinals. So we'll do this one. Played like shit today, Zero? It's okay, dude. I'm casting like shit. I feel bad. I'm missing all my blood. Yeah. Alright. Zero and Grand Armée. For Zero, we have some Dark Riders. Rakarth on his dragon. And then 3 Cold One Knights, a Charybdis for anti-large, armor piercing, and terror. Blacker Corsairs, Dread Spears, and Bleak Swords. Then we have a Firecast with Burning Head. You don't cast rounds 2 and 3. I cast one replay from everybody who played for sure, and then semifinals and finals, and then I'll cast whatever I have time for. And today I feel like shit, so I'm gonna cast one of everybody's replays, semifinals and finals, and call it a day. Alright. On the other side for the Empire, we have 2 Hellblaster volley guns, Boris Todbringer, a regular old steam tank, Grundle's Defenders, a metric shit ton of state troops, halberdiers, spearmen, swordsmen, all the like, and then a Jade Wizard with just regrowth. So the Hellblasters are trying to fire through the trees into the Dark Elf infantry, getting some decent damage out there, killing those guys. Hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I will. It's just like giving blood makes you really run down and poopy. So you'll get better once you make all your blood again. Looks like we're going to lose 1 Bleak Sword before the front lines even collide, because the Hellblasters and the Steam Tank doing a number on them, but the Charybdis is gunning straight for that Steam Tank. It is not amused. Immediately pounces on it, so it'll get some decent damage out and force that Steam Tank back. Empire State troops should hold for a while, but with no cavalry, that will be difficult to stop this Black Dragon or the Golden Knights from going wherever they please. Burning Head through the cannon crews, not gonna do that much damage, I'm afraid. The Hellblaster crews, they'll just keep firing. Kind of surprised the Hellblasters haven't just shot the Charybdis this whole time. Remember when Toads became 50-50 AP and people were saying Nurgle so back, and now you basically never see Toads? Yeah, Nurgle still sucks. Was it a crazy year? Yes. Anyway, Golden Knights getting straight through that area, gonna go get onto the Hellblaster volley guns, and this is where it's gonna start to fall apart for the Empire very badly. Rakarth and the Charybdis are teaming up on Boris. You can see the Empire frontline is in mass disarray because state troops are cheap, but they don't really hold that well. And the Hellblasters are both shut down, so that is a ton of money off the board for the Empire. Boris is getting his ass kicked, and the Steam Tank is just waiting for Rakarth or the Charybdis to run it down for the rest of the game. Having to use a regrowth onto Boris feels so fucking bad. It feels so bad because he has self-healing, so you just had to use healing on the self-healing guy because he was doing so poorly in that fight. State troops are getting churned up by the Dark Elves, who just got Murderous Prowess procced, giving them all a little more melee stats. Now, this is pretty bad for the Dark Elves, unfortunately. Their Coldwell Knights, Dark Riders getting caught up in Halberdiers. They do need to move. They need to get away from there. And Rakarth is going to land on the Jade Wizard, take him out, make sure there's no healing for the Steam Tanker Boris after this point. Just wants to fight what he has to fight. Doesn't have to fight him 1.5 more times. And that Jade Wizard is routing. Rakarth, for some reason, takes off, only to land on him immediately. That looked fine. That was a fine thing you just did, Rakarth. Good land, though. Guess another chop down. Holy Rakarth. Alright, burning head through some of the Empire State troops. We still have 3 Halberdiers, and they did grind through those Dark Riders and Cold Knights. Those guys unfortunately overstayed their welcome. The Charybdis is still getting good damage on the Steam Tank. The bounce power is creeping back, as now the Empire State troops are outgrinding the Dark Elves, and unfortunately this expensive Dragon Lord is being forced to chase down a super cheap Foot Jade Wizard, just because he's knocking him over constantly and not actually getting a lot of damage out. It would be nice if someone else knocked over Foot characters like they were supposed to, instead of just two-shotting them. Boris, you asshole. Dark Elves have the point, for all that matters. I don't think it'll go that long. Jade Wizard is going to rally any second now, but he might have to regrowth himself. We'll see if he bothers to regrowth the Steam Tank. Maybe if he can get back in range. Boris's heal cap has got to be around the corner. With self-healing and an Overcaster regrowth used on you, your healing cap's got to be, like, right there. So we'll see. Jade Wizard's back. A lot of infantry, but Rakarth has plenty of breath attacks, and he should honestly be using them. Whoa! How did you already use all 3 of your breath attacks? We're 4 minutes into this game. Where did they all fucking go? Actually, where did they go? Did anybody see him use any of them? I don't get why this guy chose to keep the Jade Wizard on foot, because foot casters are insanely tanky, as you just saw. They take forever to die, and they get knocked over a lot. Nice burning head through the front line. Rakarth is sideways walking to try and catch the Steam Tank. Decides, fuck it, I can't catch it, so I'll just hit Boris in the back, who's also still fighting the Charybdis. And can the Empire State troops carry? There's still a lot of great swords and spears. Maybe you got to ride to battle sitting on the Steam Tank. Yeah, and then they kicked him off when the battle started. They're like, alright, Jade Wizard, fuck you. Go do something. Coldwell Knights trying to run down the Steam Tank. They can get a good surround on it. They can get a lot of damage out, but they're very low, and there are a lot of halberds nearby. And Rakarth, somehow being out of breath attacks, is really, really bad for the Dark Elves right now. An overcasted regrowth does so much damage to the Jade Wizard it takes him out of the fight, and it was used on Boris, who has his own self-healing. I am shocked it wasn't used on the tank. That is wild. So Boris is going to reach his heal cap in record time, as Rakarth is still trying to chase him down. Still got an awful lot of state troops, and I suppose keeping Boris alive is very important, because otherwise the Charybdis is -8 leadership aura, plus its terror might rout off a lot of these halberdiers ahead of their time, plus the leadership debuff from the burning head. So there's a lot of leadership debuffs flying around. And even with Boris still alive, these halberdiers are now going to rout because they got burnt. Grundrel's defenders also almost going to rout. They are still trying to fight back against Cold One Spear Riders, Cold One Knight Riders, Cold One Knight Spears. You get the gist. Rakarth in the Steam Tank, playing a little bit of hide and seek in the forest. Rakarth found him. Found the shit out of him. Bounce power's going in the Dark Elf's favor. It is entirely on Rakarth and the caster's back, though, as most of the Dark Elf infantry is gone. To be fair, so is most of the Empire infantry. Boris lands in. Bleak Sword should be terror routing any second now. Any second now. Oh, it's a natural route. Did they have terror immunity? Did they terror out recently? I guess from the steam tank. I was gonna wonder what terror routed them, if not Boris. Grundrel's defenders are ITP, resisting that terror. And Boris is still trying to just wiggle away, always getting away, getting to safety. Steam tank's gonna come back into the fight. I don't know what can kill Ricard though, especially now that all the infantry are dead. There's that Abyssal Howl and Burnt Leadership debuff, -16. Yeah, they're gonna terror out and then army losses takes them. And Rikarth unironically carried that whole game. About 3,000 damage value. Steam tank's apparently gonna make a final stand. It will die. Just take a while. Okay, it looks like semifinals is not ready for us yet, so no one is waiting on us. Rikarth did end up with 3,600 value from killing the steam tank when it was unbreakable and fought to the very last man. Golden Knights did okay. Charybdis did great, but it was mostly Charybdis and Rikarth. Boris didn't get that much value. He was very supportive, very tanky, especially getting all the regrowths. Really, the Halberdiers were trying to be the heroes of the day. Hellbuster volley guns still unfortunately suck. Steam tank did alright. Didn't pay for itself. It did alright. Especially for not getting any healing. Alright, where were we? Wait, why are there 5 replays to cast? Dust Bunny. Okay, Dust Bunny wanted us to cast that other one. The one versus Spy Rat. Okay. We'll do that since I'm just trying to cast one of everybody here. I don't believe we have a semi-final yet, so I'll pick one that looks short. This one looks short, for better or for worse. Not That Clever versus Megatomic Dragon. And Megatomic took a wild Skaven build. It's not unworkable versus Vampire Coast to go full Eshin Vanguard. Corin Chalcraft, coming up, Poison Globadeer. Welcome, welcome. But it is risky. I mean, full Eshin is always crazy risky. For the Vampire Coast, we have 2 Scurvy Dogs that we're going to try and flank the Skavens, Rotting Promethean Gunnery mobs, a Carronade. 2 Carronades? No, just a Carronade. Then some Pistol mobs in the Vanguard. Then we have Depth Guard, Bombers, Vampire Caster, and Celostra Deerfun with both of her summons. And aside for the full Eshin Rush, we have Night Runners everywhere. Night Runners, Eshin Triads, Death Runners, and then we have Deathmaster Tzeentch and an Eshin Sorcerer. I can't see what the Eshin Sorcerer has. He has Ninja Stars and Skitter Leap. Which Skitter Leap with the full Eshin build is kind of useless because all your units are already stocked, so who cares? Oh, we have a Mutant Rat Ogre. Hi, Mutant Rat Ogre. You're getting shot by pistols, Mutant Rat Ogre. You're gonna die to pistols. You're gonna die out there. Death Runners get into the fight. Weeping Blades down the armor of the Erotic Prometheans with only 60 armor. They are decent targets for the Night Runner slings, I suppose. Depth Guard in here grinding back against Eshin Triads. If any Death Runners find those Depth Guard, it'll be a very bad time. Dogs do run off one of the Night Runners. And Celostra needs to get her terror-causing Ghost Knight summons out quickly. Yeah, still has them. Pistol mobs are going to shoot the Immune Rat Ogre, but some more infantry are going over there, and the coast kind of need help elsewhere. Their bombers ended up in melee, so they're not throwing their deadly bombs at the clustered up Death Runners or Triads. So just having some issues here. Looks like the coast was not expecting this build at all and just kind of got spooked a little bit. This Mutant Rat Ogre is already routing. The pistols are going to shoot him on his way out. But these bombers can't be left in melee like this. They can't. Can't be allowed. Very nice Ninja Star onto Celostra. The magic damage projectile skipping all of her physical resistance and just hurting her very tiny HP pool. Pistol Summon is out. Looks like they're trying to shoot at Tzeentch. They have the big red arrow onto them, but they're not turning to fire, so only a couple of them even have the right angle, and then they're getting blocked by their own Carronade. So Lostra used the Tide Call, has not used her Ghost of the Past summon, has not used her Crabs either. And now that we used the Pistol summon plus a Tide Call, it's not like she's exactly swimming in winds of magic. She's currently surrounded by Death Runners. Death Runners don't do magic damage, but they do have significant bonus versus infantry, so they should be able to still chop down Celestia rather effectively. Skaven very far ahead on the balance power, I would agree. We'll see what can get into melee combat with these pistol mobs, though. As Rotting Prometheans try and take down the Slingers, Mutant Ratogre is allowed to rally in the distance because there's not a lot that could honestly have chased him. And there is the Damn Knight's Errant summon. As Celestia gets lower and lower, close to crumbling, honestly, and Invocation Heck is going to heal her up, too. No Gutter Runner seems like an odd choice, to be honest. Gutter Runners? Silly. Ready for your critiques? Not that clever? Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Reducing the armor of Ghost is certainly a strategy. Yeah, but it's you want their high weapon strength and good melee stats. That's fine. So for this game, the Vampire Coast player just asked me for advice. Vampire Coast player, a little late on the Damn Knight's Errant summon. You needed them right away to just like really break up the frontline charge and disrupt what the Skaven were doing. I like what your pistols have been doing so far. That's fine. I like your Crabs causing disruption. I think Skaven, you want a different build, honestly. But the Bomber Bats just needed to be backed off, and you would have been doing a lot better in the early game. They ended up in melee over here for quite a while, and if you had backed them off, they could have used one bombing volley onto the Death Runners and routed them. And then you were free and clear to just bomb a bunch of different stuff and just be annoying. You're actually doing a good comeback in this game right now with solid target priority. I actually like that you've been ignoring Deathmaster Tzeentch entirely. Like, that's actually smart. If you don't have Spirit Leech or Count Noctilus's Wraithstorm or something, he's pretty hard to get damage onto, and you can waste a lot of your time. So I like that you're prioritizing taking out all the multi-entities of the Skaven, the multi-entity models of the Skaven, and just leaving their single entities for late game, because their leadership will fail them if they have no allies nearby. So that's quite nice. Action Sorcerer's routing, doing a good job there. Do need to finish off this Mutant Rat Ogre. He's getting some decent shots out onto you. Uh-oh. He has magic damage. If he turns and hits Celestia, that's going to be a lot of her percent HP. Deathmaster Sigil routes her in place, and good job from the Skaven player. Popping his spin to do a ton of damage to the summoned zombie mob, and then the Deathmaster Sigil also is an explosion. That did a lot of damage to the zombies around Celestia, so Deathmaster Tzeentch actually just put out a ton of damage in two different spots. Vampire Coast is back in this, baby. They're killing it. Vampire Fleet Captain getting sniped up by Snitch, though there will be no more healing for the Coast in this one. Snitch needs one more hit. He's going to literally kill her. I'm watching for the one hit. 700 HP, but he hasn't hit her in a while. There we go. 73 HP. She's going to crumble and die. Another Ninja Star hits Celestia. All of a sudden, the Vampire Coast bounce power falls very far. And Celestia is getting out another Tide Call onto some Night Runners. Not a lot of oomph left for the Coast. It was a good scrap back. But now I think she's too doomed. Snitch is going to get here and kill her in 2 hits, or the Eshin Sorcerer will kill her in 2 more shurikens. She's trying to hide in the woods, which is nice, but the pistols can't peel off everything as more and more Skaven infantry return to the fight. Snitch is just ignoring them, running through. It's fine. Snitch is on the hunt. He should have Deathmaster Sigil up soonish. I'd say like 25 more seconds. That's cooldown. Cooldown's 90 seconds, yeah. It's probably about 2/3. If he ever catches her, he's going to get a rear charge, but there fades away the last of the zombies. Her leadership should fall, and that was an overcasted Tide Call, and he hits her, so that's going to be army losses. There's Depth Guard I lost in the corner that comes back. Oh, no! Okay, yeah, that's a pretty big blunder, my friend. I'm sorry. That's a pretty big blunder. You hate to see it. All right, at this point, he's doomed. And why he's doomed is because Deathmaster Snitch can kill those Depth Guard actually pretty easily. Don't know why the rats aren't taking the point. Rats should definitely be taking the point. But Deathmaster can charge in and do his spinny spin, and then just run away and wait for the spinny spin to come back off cooldown. Why haven't the Skaven taken the point? Skaven? Did your opponent leave? Did your opponent literally leave the game? You AFK because you thought army losses. Oops. Yeah, that's pretty big. All right, I think for like all intents and purposes, I think I'm not that clever won that one. I'm sorry, Megatomic Dragon, but he literally went AFK. Yeah. I'm not that clever. It looks like you have a general build structure you like to do. So, I mean, I don't want to comment too much on it. If you like your build, do your build. I think versus Skaven, the game comes down to just dog micro. It's the only coast build I've really seen work at all. Is zombies, and then 3 bombers to help clear out stuff, 2 sirens for just terror on the flanks, and then Celastra for terror in the center. Cut everything except for the denizens, the deep summon, and Fog of the Damned. Cut all this stuff. I guess keep Arcane Conduit. Oh yeah, and the Ghost Summon obviously is quite nice. But do that. 4 dogs, 4 animated hogs, and then with your extra money you can get the Night Terrors and not quite the Lamper's Revenge. So you can either go with the Shade Wraith Gunners to fire over the top and provide that Discouraged. So then with Terror on the flanks from the Sirens, and then Celastra also providing Terror, and then Fog of the Damned minus leadership from the Discouraged Overwatch Fire. That can be pretty good. You can upgrade one of these guys into a crab or something. That rush can be pretty strong. I wouldn't bother with flanking. Well, okay, flank with the dogs. But like, I think the biggest bait with this type of build is taking the Night Terrors and putting their Vanguards to their back in a corner. But this type of build, you're just flat out bum rushing the Skaven. So just deploy them with the rest of your army and layer them on top of your zombie pirate mobs as like monstrous infantry. Same with the animated hulks. Send the dogs on the flanks just to harass the Skaven. And then but you have to remember you're forcing them into a bad situation because you're going to get through their front line. So have your dogs. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm answering this question, and the tournament host is asking me important things. But, right. With the bomber mobs, just have them in the middle, fire over the top, and then route off the front line. And have your dogs just sitting in the back waiting. And if the Skaven have a box formation, or if they have their own dogs waiting for you, don't charge. Just wait. Just wait it out. And eventually, you're going to win the front line. Their range is going to be shooting. If they want the range to stay online, they're going to have to pull their back line to the front to keep it safe. Then your dogs move in. If they try and charge you with their dogs, just pull them away, right? Pull them away with your scurvy dogs, which are cheaper, because you'll lose. You'll lose versus wolf rats with scurvy dogs. They just don't win that fight. Unless you get a charge on literally AFK dogs, but that's not what we're going to bet on here. But yeah. So the Sirens provide terror on the flanks, Celastra and the Night Terrors provide terror in the middle. Overwatch fire from these guys, plus a Fog of the Damned, lowers the Skaven leadership by like 20. -8, -16, so yeah. -24, and then terror. Whatever it is going to route. You're just pushing through, you're just being annoying. That can work. You can also try and outshoot them, but that's a different build, and we apparently don't have time, as I now need to go do semifinal things. Alright, semifinals and finals will be live. Then we'll go back and apparently do a couple more replays for people that we maybe didn't get to see. Unless they made it to top 4. I actually don't know who's in top 4. We give a Lizardmen mirror? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. How could you do this? Watch Skaven versus Skaven. What Skaven versus Skaven? What? What? Wait for the Skaven Lord to get bored and have their midday nap. Yeah, that's fair. That's based. Alrighty. Who is on the other semifinal, by the way? Looks like it's Pensive Bread and Gordon Ramsay. I don't know who Pensive Bread is, but I remember Gordon Ramsay. I remember that guy. You deleted it? Yeah, I probably did. There's a lot of people in this tournament, and I am dedicating to getting everybody on screen at least once, and then watching the semifinals and finals live. That's all I'm committing to. I commit to no further. It's me, Yoshai. I'm Pensive Bread. Okay, so that's going to be some Wood Elves over there. I don't remember what Gordon Ramsay is playing. I think he's playing Words of Chaos. Salon Mage Priest of Life versus Salon Mage Priest of Life. One side has double Feral Carnosaur, though, so I think I know who we're all rooting for. It's double motherfrickin' Feral Carnosaur. Alright. I'm happy to see Devil because he beat me in this tournament. Yeah, Devil's pretty good. Devil's pretty good. So, for the blue army of Devil, we have double Feral Carnosaur, Cold and Spear Riders, Feral Cold Ones, Red Crested Skinks, a couple Javelins, and a Life Caster. Does he have Regrowth and Earthblood? Just Regrowth? What are we doing? Where is he? There he is. I didn't click on a fucking Feral Carnosaur. I clicked on this guy. He has just Regrowth. Got it. Okay. On the other side, a different Lizardmen build. More Cold One Spear Riders, some Red Crest Skinks, some regular Skinks, the Colossus Hunter, Riperdactyls, ROR, 2 Chameleon Skinks, and then a Salon Mage Priest of Life with Flesh to Stone and Earthblood. Okay, so a little more spread out spells. Let the frogs fight it out in single combat. It's the only way. It's the only way! What is the Cold One Cav count? Because these guys have gotten a lot of buffs and now they're crazy strong, so I'm not surprised either side brought a ton of them. Looks like we have 6 Cold One Cav versus 6. This side's 4 Spear Riders, 2 Feral Cold Ones. The other side is 3 Spear Riders, 3 Feral Cold Ones. So red actually has better, yeah, red has better Cav, blue has 2 giant Carnosaurs. Let's go. Let's go, Feral Carnos. There, this time I don't even have to touch the keyboard. I'll just cast like this. So the Feral Carnosaurs are prowling, looking for some... Okay, that's rude. Alright, that's a little rude. That was kind of fucked up, what you just did right there. So Carnosaur's still moving in, still thinking about it, thinking about life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Front lines are almost closing in, so I'll cease my shenanigans. So it looks like we have a Cav fight brewing out here, but Blue Devil is just going to ignore that. He's going to run away from it, force these Chameleon Skinks and all these Cav to slowly walk up to his area while he just wins elsewhere. Well, I'm sure he's trying to win elsewhere. Carnosaurs are going to go support the left flank as 2 Cold One Spear Riders and a Feral Cold One fight 2 Cold One Spear Riders. But then the Colossus Hunters are hoping to get a good charge. So are the Feral Carnosaurs. What is this? Flesh to Stone on some Red Crested Skinks who weren't quite in the fight yet, so the Flesh to Stone really isn't going to matter that much. Earthblood will matter significantly more. And in come the Colossus Hunters, getting a nice good charge. Do they have Toad Rage popped? They don't yet. That plus 50% damage would be quite nice. Both sides, Cold and Spear Riders, are losing a lot of HP. On the main fight, the blue front line appears to be kicking tons of ass. And the right flank, if we said that was left, the right flank is going quite well for the red team. Okay, over here, this cav fight is still ongoing. It's going on in the woods, so both sides losing some stats here and there. Carnosaur is still killing it. The Claw Hunters did pop their Toad Rage, but taking a lot of damage from the double Carnosaurs. So I would say that this is overall still undecided who is winning. Blue seems to be trading up on the front line, and still red is winning up there. Both sides very even right now on the balance of power and damage values. A regrowth overcast onto one of the Carnosaurs, who did appear to be taking some damage. We can see the blue Cold Spear Riders lost out. They are starting to run away. But can the red Cold Spear Riders be rallied to deal with these Carnosaurs? As another Earthblood overcast is trying to save them and the Colossodon Hunters. But still, the Colossodon Hunters are getting chomped out very badly by the Feral Carnosaur. As he tail flaps his own Slon, but we know he was aiming at the Colossodon Hunters, so it's okay. It's the intent that matters. This is getting a little concerning, though. Carnosaur is going to get surrounded by armor-piercing Cav, who have been getting significant healing. We do have a cohort of Tzeentch trying to keep them safe. This other Carnosaur was trying to run down these guys while they were routing, but the routing has stopped. And now they turn around and go, who exactly do you think you are? And they're going to surround him and beat him up. His charge attack animation's keeping him relatively safe for now, but now they're starting to close in, so he'll take decent damage. Again, those animations trying to save him. Cold Spear Riders and Feral Coldens doing all right. Blood Statue spied out onto the Colossodon Hunters, who did retreat to refresh their charge bonus. Elsewhere, blue is falling behind on the balance of power. We do have some routing units here and there. Chameleon Skinks moving up. All those good things. All the small things. Terror. Route them. Say it ain't so. I will not go. Feral Carnosaur, carry me home. This is a bad place to be. As two Carnosaurs are closing in on either side, the Cold Spear Riders are trying to charge the Slon. They'll get a little bit of damage out, but they are going to get eaten alive by these guys. Overcast damages the Slon somewhat. We do have Red Crest Skinks charging in to help out. Colossodon Hunters pop their Toad Rage for extra damage as they charge in as well. But the Rampage takes them into the cohort of Tzeentch. It doesn't take them into the big targets they wanted to find, so they need to hurry up and kill these Red Crested Skinks so that there is no distractions. None of their models get distracted by those Red Crested Skinks, but it doesn't seem to be the case, as their refuse to die was keeping them very much alive. They're down to 58 HP, still 13 models. That is a lot to chew through, and a lot of wasted damage too, as you're gonna, your splash attacks aren't gonna do that great. Damage value is very even, bounce power is very even, and the conquest point is not taken by anybody. In comes a very beautiful, amazing, gorgeous banishment from Devil here, right onto the Red Crested Skinks. And the Red Crested Skinks were giving a lot of advantage to the red side here, because their cavalry and the Colossodon Hunters could fight on top of their own infantry. If those guys get killed by a banishment, then you just have to fight large monsters with Cav, which isn't going to work great. 3 Red Crested Skinks still applying poison, and still distracting models occasionally, so that is a bad time for the red team. There we go, the final Red Crested Skink should fall there in a second. And the Colossodon Hunters once again surround a Feral Carnosaur. If he swings at them, he will start killing models. But elsewhere, Feral Cold Ones and Red Crested Skinks are trying to chase down this Life Slon and make those Feral Carnosaurs much squishier, both in leadership and literal HP, because obviously they won't get any healing. Colossodon Hunters only kept in the fight by Cold-Blooded, down to 4 models, really not doing too much damage. It's the Cold Spear Riders trying to run down the blue Slon, but the red team is getting reinforcements and a nice predictive banishment over here from the red side, so good job, Hellion. But we have Chameleon Skinks coming in, full health Feral Cold One as well, because they won that topside fight, so they're starting to bring in their extra resources. The Feral Carnosaurs are now locked down and a lot of armor piercing between the Feral Cold Ones, Cold Spear Riders, Colossodon Hunters, Red Crested Skinks. Everything around here is ready to chip straight through that lizardy lizard armor. Blue team's reinforcements are just a couple of almost dead Skinks that are trying to get in here, trying to offer a little bit of support. Do have the cohort of Tzeentch for the red side off in the distance. Feral Cold Ones rejoining the fight from that side. And the Slon continues to heal himself up quite a lot. Regrowth overcasts shielding him plenty, as Earthbloods from the other side try and keep Colossodon Hunters in it. They're down to just 2 models. Really not that scary. Really not that scary. I am getting alarmed that the blue team is spreading out their damage so much. We saw like they bursted out one Carnosaur, then it got regrowth, so they switched targets, then that Carnosaur got regrowth, then they switched targets, and now the Slon got regrowth. So they're just allowing everything to heal cap instead of finishing anything off, and I am not a fan of that. Like, these Red Crested Skinks need to stop whatever this is and just go run at this Carnosaur. They need to take out that Carnosaur. It's cool if you kill the Slon, but you're not going to. You've already committed too much, and now you're spreading out your forces. So the Carnosaurs who are faster are going to collapse in, take out these Cold One Spear Riders. It's going to be pretty rough. And now your Chameleon Skinks have to take shots into a forest, which they're not going to do great in. Nice Earthblood out from the Red Salon. Going to keep healing them up, which is nice. So is this the Isle? Never played that game, but it looks cool. Yeah, this is the Isle. It's the Isle. Chameleon Skink still firing over the top into the Salon. Still unable to finish him off. Just around the Feral Carnosaur at this point. Another regrowth out for the Feral Carnosaur, but ooh, beautiful, beautiful RNG. RNGbus here for Devil, not for Devil, for Hellion. The Salon Overcast actually hurt him right when he was getting attacked, so without Cold-Blooded he would already be routing, but it looks like he's going to die soon. Unfortunately, that Overcasted regrowth is going to heal up another Feral Carnosaur quite a lot. The dart's going to make the Salon route. Despite the Cold-Blooded, he will still route. And another Earthblood out to try and keep the red lizards on track. Now the Chameleon Skinks firing at the Feral Carnosaur. How much damage have you guys done? I feel like a lot. 860. That's pretty nice. 710. I mean, it pays for yourself. Salon is retreating with only 300 HP. Probably won't route. Now one of the Carnosaurs is going to go duel the Salon. Theoretically, Carnosaurs are great at sniping single entities. That doesn't usually work out that way, but they're, in theory, good at it. Golden Spear Riders, only 4 models left, trying to provide any mass they can. Balance of power is 50-50. I don't think that's true. This Golden Spear Rider is going to tear out away. It looks like the Red Crest Skinks will also soon follow. The Blue Salon is not dead, so his leadership debuff has not been applied to these Carnosaurs yet, and the Skinks. The only way for Red to win this at this point is to kill the Blue Salon. You have to kill him, and then just rely on the Feral Carnosaurs being feral monsters without a lord, where they'll lose leadership and get all depressed and sad and stuff. Another Earthblood is out, but we've lost all of our Cold One Spear Riders. We lost the Coloston Hunters. There's not a lot of anti-large or even that much armor piercing left, honestly. These 2 Chameleon Skinks are most of the infantry that are here. Salon is down to 10 HP. Someone kill him. There we go. He is dead. That probably takes the Red Crested Skinks out with him. Now those Carnosaurs, the leadership is much more attainable to surround them and just rout them. And this fight has taken everybody next to the edge of the map. So that is a reasonable thing that the Carnosaurs route their own high speed. I think they have like, what, 90? Oh, they have 43 because they're getting poisoned and exhausted. Okay. Well, normally their high speed would take them straight off the battlefield. Red team is about to take the middle. They have a Skink cohort over there. Cohort of Sotek is trying to show up. Carnosaurs are chasing the Salon, and the Salon needs to path back towards his own infantry. He can't be running off into the distance like this. The Carnosaurs are trying to terror out him. Salons are not ITP, in case you didn't know that, so he can terror out. And again, we're right next to the edge of the map, so he might just take his own ass off the battlefield. As the Feral Carnosaurs are forced to path through all this infantry. The Salon is still trying to run around in circles, but there we go. That's what we're waiting on. That Carnosaur almost routed right there. It was really darn close, even though he has this much HP, even though he's kicking tons of ass. Red team has the point. I don't think this game's going to go that much longer, so we'll see. But the terror outs are coming through. Terror out for the Chameleon Skinks. Terror out for the Feral Cold Ones, and the Feral Cold Ones turn into an actual rout. But this Carnosaur is almost routing because the other Carnosaur comes in and rear attacks the Salon. The Salon is about to die. We don't know if he has any Earthbloods left. He's been using so many this game. He himself terror routs, takes another big chomp. Army losses is coming in for the red side, and just like that, all of a sudden, everything goes to shit, and Devil will win. All right, we got another semifinal to get to. So for the Salon of Life on this side, the regrowth Salon, he did fine. He heal capped himself and another Feral Carnosaur. The Feral Carnosaurs both got way more value than the cost, so good for them. On the other side, Chameleon Skinks did well. Red Crest Skinks did well. Feral Cold Ones did very well. Cold One Spear Riders did alright. The Class Hunters did alright. GG. Other semi-final! Oh, Hellion just posted the replay we watched. I saw a replay show up and it said like semifinal, and I was like, wait, you're supposed to wait for me. What the hell? What the hell? There's pensive bread. I don't want to join that. Wait. Why isn't your opponent already here? Why is there a space in this lobby? Where is your foe? There's Gordon Ramsay on Slaanesh. Can we get a human ASMR stream? Isn't that what this is? Plain pasta? Isn't that what this is? Alright. Who will go on to fight the Lizardmen finals? What elves or warriors cast? We'll find out. We're already getting sweet chair tomorrow. Hey! It's a chair. Chairs squeak. You know? Sometimes in life, you're given squeaky chairs. Other times in life, you're given squeaky hairs. And I think what we can all agree on is rats are cool. We need the special dual microphone mounted on a mannequin head. Oh. Oh, that's good. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. Reminds me of those bobblehead mannequin monsters. Coilhead in Lethal Company. That one. That game. Is that Triple Way Watcher and a Glade Lord? My God. Is that Azazel? Alright, here's the problem. Oh, Yoshai's in the chat. I'll discuss this as soon as they hit start game. Because between the chaos of a game going on and the stream delay, I think it'll be okay. But I want to say this in the calm part where they're setting up their armies. Is this the correct map? I don't know. It should be the same one we just saw, because both semifinals are played on the same one. Why am I getting it being wrong map? Or to play this one? I got too stressed. I don't give a fuck. Alright, I was answering a different question. We are on the wrong map, it looks like. We'll see if Gordon Ramsay cares. In the meantime, while we figure out what we're going to do about that, we have Triple Way Watcher, front line of Dryads, backed up by Wild Riders and Glade Riders for a bunch of blocking, Wild Riders of Kronos for a lot of damage. And then we had Branch Wraith with Earthblood and Melkoths, and then we have a Glade Lord with Pyrovanoth Rama and Arrow of Kronos. We also have a Marauder Horseman with throwing axes, Hellstriders of Slaanesh, Azazel up in the sky with Rampage and his Lash of Slaanesh. Then we have 3 Blood Beasts of Khorne and 4 Forsaken. How do we not know you? How do we not know that you are not a tiny rat piloting a human? You don't know. That's the mystery of it. How do you feel about cheese? Cheese is alright. Cheese is pretty cool. I don't like cheesy builds. I don't like getting cheesed. I do like eating cheese. I don't like when people cheese me. I want to talk about my thing, but I want to know if we're even playing on this map. Because if Yoshai is in the chat, then I don't want to give him strats. I don't want to give him those leaks. We'll see. Oh, all right. Player's just starting, so he must be fine with it. Okay. Do you like cats? Yeah, I have a cat. Cats are great. So here's the thing. 3 Way Watchers absolutely should not, under any circumstances, fire at Azazel. Unless he is literally directly above them and Prey of Anathema. He's teeny, teeny, tiny. And they just won't hit him very effectively. And I think it's a massive bait. When your Way Watchers have so much damage they can output versus Forsaken, versus the Blood Beast, versus the Hellstriders, versus everything else. Everything else here is weak to archers. Except for Azazel. So I think if they Prey of Anathema, net him, and waste a bunch of ammo and time shooting Azazel, they're going to get run over by the Blood Beasts. So I really want to see the Way Watchers prioritize shooting everything else. Do boxes count as cheesy builds? Sure, why not? Why not? Sure. Why not? Sure. Whatever. Hellstrider is getting wrecked by Wild Riders. They are going to take a Glade Rider with them while the Way Watchers delete another one. But you see this front line is going to be a problem. The Dryads are not going to be able to hold back Blood Beasts and Forsaken for very long at all. So we do need the Way Watchers to assist with that a little bit. Already take half health off the Blood Beast, and they're still falling back. The Warriors of Chaos doing a good job all advancing at once, putting pressure everywhere so the Way Watchers can't really get anywhere safe. Wild Riders and the Wild Hunters of Kronos now getting thrown into melee to try and keep the archers online for just a bit longer as Azazel comes over. Prey of Anathema, very nice job, and they are close enough range that maybe you can get some good damage out. There's a decent amount, but he has that thing where he jitters away when he gets hit, so I don't know how much damage it's going to output as the Blood Beasts are still on your tail. We watch her stop and get another volley off. Yeah, they take them to like just above half HP, but now the Prey of Anathema's wore off, and still there's more Hellstrider stuff coming in. So that's kind of what I was worried would happen. It is decent chunk, and I know you're going to be like, it was worth it, whatever. Like, yeah, but Azazel's not the problem here. The problem is that this is happening. Hellstriders and the Blood Beasts are killing an entire Way Watcher. Now we have 2 left. Like, the Way Watchers have to spend all their time shooting at these guys. And I think that, like, seeing how this game is playing out, Yoshai's playing it very well, but Gordon Ramsay just has a great build for running down Way Watchers. He has so many mass units with Blood Beasts and Hellstriders that you have to shut down with your cavalry that you just don't have enough cavalry, and then your Way Watchers eventually get dragged down. Still have a decent amount of Dryads, still have some cavalry presence. Prey of Anathema hit the Blood Beast a little bit, but the woods block some of it. The woods betraying the Wood Elves is quite classic. We're losing our second Way Watcher, I believe. Yeah, there they go. So one's still online. They have to spend their time shooting at anything fast enough to catch them, which unfortunately for them is quite a lot of things. In come the Way Watcher shots. For some reason they went the high route, which is a little iffy. Still have one healthy Blood Beast. Still have a Marauder Horseman throwing axes in the way distance, and then some Hellstriders. But maybe the Wild Hunters, maybe the Dryads can kill those guys. We still have some Wild Riders that are safe-ish. Yeah, I don't know if the Wood Elves have DPS at this point. Gordon Ramsay is up about 1,500, 1,600, climbing. Another Earthblood out on the Dryads, just trying to hold it down. And I am kind of surprised Azazel hasn't rampaged these guys yet. You have Pavane, right, my dude? Might have used it on some cab I wasn't looking at. Way Watchers running out of space, running out of time. Azazel has caught up to them. There's another Prey of Anathema. They're going to fire point blank range straight up into him. That's a decent shot angle, but again, still just his teeny tiny little Azazel body is so hard to hit for such archers. Teeny tiny little Azazel body is just Azazel, so teeny and tiny. Yeah, he's fine. This map, ironically, has way too many woods. Bad for Wood Elves. Yeah. They don't have tree-piercing shots. Wood Elves still trying to kite it out. They're getting some Way Watchers back on the high ground. 20 out of 60 models, but a lot of ammunition if they can get a lot of shots out. We've almost taken care of all of the mobility. Almost. There's still a full health Marauder Horseman. That could be a problem, but the Blood Beasts are getting pretty low. Azazel's not feeling that great. If your third of Prey of Anathema is up, you might want to use it on these Marauder Horsemen. Because they're about to run you down. They're about to run you down, boy! Melkot's nice, he needed the slow. Way Watchers have to continue running, and really good cab collapse in, making the leadership fall. Almost gonna rout those guys. Almost gonna rout them. So close. Takes them from full HP to just below half, and leadership rallies because they're charging, but as soon as the charge wears off, they're probably gonna rout if the Wild Riders are right behind them. The Wood Elves are clawing this game back. We still have one Way Watcher kiting away from the Blood Beasts. Drycha Light is under attack by Azazel. Good peeling there. Weight Watchers are now focusing on the other blood beasts. And this is what we were hoping for. Like, rather than shooting Azazel, like, this is the end game they wanted to get to. Just shooting everything fast enough to catch them, and now they can infinitely kite. I mean, until they run out of ammo. But it's better to get all of your ammo out than get run down and killed. Branch Wraith tries to heal herself, but Azazel knocks her over as she was about to. She cannot tear her out, however. Azazel's terror doesn't matter to her. She is ITP, since she is a living tree lady. And the Weight Watchers just throwing in a ton of fire, distracting these guys once again. Another Melkoth is out onto a great target as well, shooting at the Forsaken. Blood Beast full surround the Branch Wraith. She needs the Earthblood herself to stay in this fight. And there is the rampage we were waiting for from Azazel. Pavane dragging these guys into the Forsaken. Maybe the Wild Riders can save them with a heroic side charge in, trying to knock those Forsaken out of formation. Oof, they still make contact with the Weight Watchers. The Weight Watchers are going to take a lot of damage. They have to run away as soon as the rampage is over. Blood Beasts are also back in. So this is the kind of the final charge of the Warriors of Chaos. They've backed the Wood Elves into a corner. The Weight Watchers are not able to get to safety just yet. Wild Riders and the Wild Hunters Kurnos fighting as they can. We have other Dryads trying to return to the fight. The Branch Wraith did not manage to heal herself, so the Blood Beasts do take her out. Looks like all of these guys are terror routing and naturally routing. The Blood Beasts will get routing again on their own, but the Skirmish Cav should catch the Weight Watchers. Then it is just a Glade Lord who has not nearly enough damage to kill all the stuff left. That was a very good scrap back from the Wood Elves, but it is not enough. Some Warriors of Chaos look like they've got this one wrapped up. Branch Wraith is pushed off the battlefield. Wild Riders are the last things fighting for the Wood Elves besides the Lord herself. And that is GG. Look at how low these HP bars are. Look at them all being low. Warriors of Chaos will go on to fight the Lizardmen in the final. Devil versus Gordon Rammy. Very good game from Yoshai. Weight Watchers, mixed value. Two of them got good value. One struggled. Wild Riders, mixed value overall, but did their jobs. Azazel did his job, being tanky and annoying. Forsaken all almost paid for themselves. Blood Beast did fine. Hellstriders did well overall, and the Marauder Horsemen throwing X's were just there, helping out. GG's. All right, finals getting set up, and then how many replays did we have left after the finals? I have two. I have 2 replays to do after the finals. Then I can go take a nap, which I've earned. I have earned that nap. Earned the shit out of it. Place is just setting up the lobby. Okay, we have Devil versus Gordon Ramsay, and there's a lobby called Hell's Kitchen. And if that's not their lobby, I'm gonna be pissed. Hey, Nicholas, how you doing? Alright, he sent the code. This had better be Hell's Kitchen. It is. And he has a spectate slot up. Let's go. I'm not disappointed. Oh, his password's 321. That's not. It's not kosher. Can't do that. What up, Adelmo? How you doing? We have 3 games left. This is the finals. And then I have 2 replays left to cast, so everybody got on stream at least once. Map's supposed to be Doc Karaz. Lizardmen versus Warriors of Chaos. For the Warriors of Chaos, You used to just get 6 skirmish cav in this matchup, but now they have a lot more armor-piercing monstrous options. I don't know. Blood beasts are pretty good against lizards. They're just weak to a lot of the dart skinks, so you gotta have something else to run them down. Yoshi, I thought you did great. I appreciated you. I think your target selection was pretty good. Were you listening to the game or not really? Did you have the audio unmuted? No shame. When I get to play on Turin's stream, I have the audio unmuted. I'll admit that freely. Fuck you. If I get on Turin's stream, I'm listening. That's hype as hell. So we'll see. We'll see what they say after the delay. Dun, dun, dun. Because I have feedback, but if you're listening to the game, then you heard all my feedback already, and I'll shut up. Because everybody else will be like, don't say it again, you said it like 3 fucking times. We're sick of it. We're sick of you. You're stupid. Rah! Rah! Doc Karaz is selected. Good map. It should be up shortly. People have been taking roughly similar builds all the time, so I'm guessing that their builds won't take crazy long to make. There's something I was going to look up, but what was it? It was important to me. Damn it. Oh, yeah. League of Legends nonsense. I think North American League is starting, right? Now? Soon? Shut up, phone. Advertisements to pay YouTube for watching things on YouTube. Yeah, it starts in 11 minutes. Nice. Dank. That is both dank and lit. Gordon Ramsay readied up briefly, so he's gonna be ready soon. Don't you worry. Devil's here. Everybody's ready. Let's do this. Oh, I kind of hate the new way the LEC does their thumbnails. That's fucked up. All right, pay attention. We're focused. Holy cats! It's Azazel, some Blood Beasts, 2 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, and Hellstriders. I'm shocked. This build is very, very different. Oh my god, on the other side, that build's actually kind of wildin'. That is a regular old Dreadsaurian. I think it's feral. I think that is honestly a feral Dreadsaurian. And triple Razordon hunting packs. You play LOL? I used to play a lot. Now I just watch the pros. But yeah, I played LOL for like 10 years. I hit Diamond 2 at one point. That is a feral Dreadsaurian. Let's go. Cold and Spear Riders and feral Cold Ones. So a lot of armor-piercing cav, 4 red crested skinks, and then triple Razordon hunting pack to kite out like an infantry-style box or a blob. Or double giant. Actually, double giant really hates stealing for Razordons. So, pretty good unit if you can keep them alive. Salon Mage Priest of Life with just regrowth, mostly for the Dreadsaurian. On the other side, though, this is not what triple Razordon wants to see, and I'm very concerned for Devil. We have the Knights of Immolation, then 3 Hellstriders, 2 Martyr Horsemen with throwing axes, double Blood Beast, triple Halberd, and Azazel. The double Blood Beast and triple Halberd is pretty whatever as far as the Razordons are concerned, but that is a lot of mobility that is just going to go past your front line, shut down those Razordons. It's going to be heavily on his micro of his Cold One Spear Riders and feral Cold Ones on whether or not he wins this game. Because if his Razordons are up and able to shoot, they'll do fine. But if he fucks up some cav engagements, then just runs out of cavalry, these guys will have no place to go and they'll get run down. Rocket with the high Rainy Frog. Dude, everybody with the high Rainy Frog. Fucking love Rainy Frog. And I love saying hi to him, even though I haven't seen him on a stream in like 6 years. 7 years. You know what? 8. 8 years. Okay. I do think, as I mentioned with the Blizzards, it's the same on the other side. I think if Gordon Ramsay plays great with his cavalry and his monstrous infantry and his flying cav and stuff, and his rampages from Azazel, if he can just get a mobility advantage, he wins. So both sides are really going for the mobility advantage. Because those Razordons, it's weird to say, the Razordons are the win condition. But the mobility is what matters, because if the Razordons get shut down, then who cares, right? So it's like, You don't have to play great with the Razor Dawns to win with them. You need to keep them alive, which means you need to play great with your cold ones. Both sides sizing each other up. Razor Dawn's gonna counter fire against throwing axes. Throwing axes have a pretty bad volley. You can see the Razor Dawns really didn't take much damage from it, so they went out on that trade. Skirmish Cav don't want to deal with the Razor Dawns at all, especially not throwing axe Cav. Their arc of fire is pretty bad, and their missiles are armor piercing. But ooh, nice rampage from Azazel, just gonna drag the Razor Dawns back. Oh yeah, but you're fighting Lizardmen, the anti-rampage faction. Good reactions from Devil on the cold-blooded. Was right on top of it immediately. Just stopped that rampage in his tracks and dragged them home. That's really, really good. Blood Beasts go and fight the Dread Saurian. Now, this is not the Shredder of Illustria, so it doesn't have the extra leadership debuff and the little cannons on its back shooting around, so the Blood Beast will actually last a lot longer versus it. As we are getting some lag, the players are starting to move in. Hellstriders take a fight with the Feral Cold Ones. That's a great fight for them, but the Cold One Spear Riders following them up is more of the problem. But again, the Razor Dawns, whenever they get to trade one-to-one with the Skirmish Cav, it goes so poorly for the Skirmish Cav. Blood Statue of Despite trying to stop these Hellstriders as they also get to fight Feral Cold Ones. But it looks like the Cold One micro is on point. We mentioned it before. So as long as that stays the case and these Razor Dawns can stay alive and shooting, it's going to be a bad time for the Warriors of Chaos. I don't love the Doom Knights committing to this fight as well. Didn't feel like they needed to. They need to be out there harassing the Razor Dawns or rear charging Cav fights. Joining a blob fight is not what they're for, unfortunately. As the Blood Beasts try and get onto one of the Razor Dawns. Another Razor Dawn is at half HP. The Hellstriders that were attacking it are peeled away. Other Skirmish Cav still running away from these Feral Cold Ones. Things are going great for Devil right now. He is very happy with how this is working out. Azazel tries to snipe out the Salon, but the bodyguard Feral Dread Saurian pushes him away, gets a lot of damage on his way out. And the Halberds are still grinding through some Red Crested Skinks, getting some decent damage out here and there as these Blood Beasts are actually losing to those Red Crested Skinks. Don't like being surrounded by infantry. Not at all. On the low ground, Hellstriders trading up into Cold One Spear Riders. That is great for them. This 2v1, that's doing better than they ever could have hoped, because they also killed the Feral Cold One down there. Doom Knights get off a quick little bombardment to kill off Red Crest Skinks and leave the Feral Dread Saurian alone in Halberds. I'm so used to it being the Shredder that I'm not even ready to say Dread Saurian, just the Shredder. Still, these Razor Dawns are online. Still, they're all firing in, and the Doom Knights finally isolate one. They're going to kill it pretty quickly and try and bring that balance of power back to a reasonable state, as the Dread Saurian is going to rear charge them with his big, powerful, snapping jaws. Gets good damage out on those guys as Halberds try and chase him downhill. Red team is about to take the point. I do not think that is going to matter, as this game is progressing quite quickly. I don't think we'll get to the point where victory tickets really matter that much. Is it a regrowth coming on the Feral Dread Saurian? And it's an overcast regrowth too. A little overambitious here from Devil. That's not a good use of Winds of Magic, because it's not like he's taking a lot of damage. So you're not investing in healing that he's going to get immediately. You're just going to hit his heal cap and then sit around doing nothing. As Hazel apparently is mad. Okay. Alright, Hazel. Calm yourself. Elsewhere, Blood Beasts try and catch some of the Razor Dawns, but Blood Statue of Despite plus Cold One Spear Rider charge should take those guys out quite easily. But wow, that was a lot of damage on the Razor Dawns out of nowhere. Okay. Big damage from the Blood Beasts. Ended up being worth it. Azazel's once again trying to snipe out this long. We still have some Halberds, though their leadership is going to fall as their HP does, and that's still a terror-causing Dread Saurian. Pretty big problem. For the Razor Dawns, we have one healthy group over there, two wounded groups, but still a good amount of models between them. I guess the Doom Knights are trying to chase these guys down. Balance power goes increasingly bad for Gordon Ramsay. As Azazel keeps trying to snipe out the Salon, there's too much mass around, too many random bodies getting in his way, blocking him. Like this Razor Dawn herd that's trying to retreat is still in his way. Cold One Spear Riders are in his way. Everything's tough. Final offer. Empire Captain with the Ratatouille Rider instead. Yes. I turned off not to cheat. Yoshi, okay. Yoshi, I don't think your Way Watcher should ever target Azazel, and I talk about why during the game. But I think you should have just used all of your volleys on Hellstriders and Blood Beasts and the Skirmish Cav, and then left Azazel all alone in the late game versus Dryads and Wild Riders and stuff. I don't think you can snipe someone this small and up in the air and that fast. Even if you net him, you just like don't get enough damage out to make it worth it. As for this game though, the finals, the writing is on the wall as the Warriors of Chaos start to fall apart. The Devil just played well enough with his Cold One Spear Riders and Cold One Cav to keep the Razor Dawns online, and that was really all he needed. The infantry fight was inconsequential. Neither side really cared that much. As Red Crescent Skinks traded with halberds, no one cared. It was all about those Razordons, and you just couldn't shut them down, so they got to fire. They got to shoot the Doom Knights, shoot at Azazel a little bit, shoot at the Blood Beasts. GG's for both players made it to finals. Devil winning out on the day. I do have 2 more replays I gotta go cast. Razordons, not getting that much value. So it feels weird that I hyped them up that much, but like, if your late game situation is these halberds and these Doom Knights are gonna sit there and your Dreadsaurian's gonna just churn itself to death on them, Razordons entirely counter that, so both sides knew that that was the objective. But his Hellstriders were not capable of getting through the Cold and Spear Riders. So then just lost. GG's. Back to my other 2 replays to fulfill my oath that everybody who plays gets on stream at least once. We have a lot of lizards, apparently, so let's do this. Dark Elves Tzeentch. More lizards in a sec. Dust Bunny Armada versus Spy Rat. We saw Spy Rat earlier. I've not seen Dust Bunny. He brings Village. The Cursling. Spy Rat, you brought the Cold and Dread Knight ROR, so I already know you lose because I hate that unit and never wins. It never wins. It's cursed. Last match played versus Gordon, you managed to delete his Azazel in 2 volleys. I'd say that's more of the anomaly than the norm. For this build, Dark Elves brought a ton of cavalry. Doomfire Warlocks, Dark Riders, Cold One Knights, Cold One Dread Knights apparently with the Knights of the Ebon Claw, and then a bunch of Dread Spears. We have Malice Darkblade and a Firecaster with Burning Head and Flaming Sword of Ruin. You have side for Tzeentch. Frontline of Forsaken and Marauders. We do have a Changebringer up in the sky, some Sour Guts, Soul Grinder, and then 4 Skirmish Cav who are all trying to fall back away from the Dark Riders charging straight at them. They do a Village with Pink and Blue Fire, and then the Shrieking Skyrays and another Screamer of Tzeentch. Seeing 0 ranged on the side of the Dark Elves, the Changebringers are free to do whatever they want, and apparently what they want to do is shoot Cold One Knights right now. Which goes better with Tzeentch. His units just die like butter defending versus the Knight. Yeah, Tzeentch is pretty squishy. Kind of has to be, though, for his identity. Look at those Changebringers doing great damage on the Cold One Spear Riders. Or whatever, Cold One Knights. They're the same fucking unit. Ah, I hate it! There's so many Cold One things. And they're all popular right now, because Cold Ones are super strong. Changebringers down to half ammo. That's the only thing they have to be careful of is ammo usage. That Burning Head is trying to cut off these Cold One Marauder Horsemen. That's where we're at now, apparently. Anyway, he's trying to cut off the Marauder Horsemen. The Burning Head didn't do that much damage to them. But what is going to be a problem as he tries to get through here and sneak away is that the Cold One Dread Knights and Dark Riders were over there. So he's getting ushered in and then wants to get away. Doomfire Warlocks in between him and safety. Look at all those volleys just shredding those guys at point blank range. The Changebringers do push away the Cold One Knights. Down to 4 volleys. Got to be a little careful with that. I'd like to see them come hit something that already has full HP, but oh, they have Fire at Will on. That's a disaster. With such expensive ammunition, you need to turn Fire at Will off and just only have it shoot at things you want it to shoot at. Doomfire Warlocks using one of their precious Doom Bolts on the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch. We're still kiting away, and Shrieking Skyrays are following them around. Sour Guts hold around the Soul Grinder, and there's another good Changebringer volley down onto the Knights of the Ebon Claw. So really good kite by Tzeentch so far. Marauder Horsemen still making the Dark Riders pay. Their Bronze Shield's not nearly enough to keep them safe here. Changebringers, how much damage have you guys gotten? Yeah, about 2,000, that sounds right. Would make a cool vid, custom units for each faction, i.e. Chaos Dwarf Rocket Teams or Cathay Fire Rocket Lance Cav. That could be cool, that'd be modded though. People don't usually watch modded content that much. Around my channel anyway. Something is happening here. It's a Soul Blight from the Doomfire Warlocks onto the Forsaken. I guess that reduces their armor down to 55. That's something, but the Dark Elves don't really have any follow-up on it. It's just debuffing them for the sake of debuffing them right now. There's no imminent melee fight to really hurt those guys. Tzeentch is very heavily balanced power, but the Changebringers have quickly become useless. They are now just flying dogs because they don't have any ammunition left. But Tzeentch still has a lot of infantry, still have a soul grinder with a good amount of ammunition. Shrieking Skywars are fighting back. It's the Knights of the Ebon Claw in a fight to the death. Murderous Mastery helping these guys a lot stay in the fight. Mastery is plus 15 leadership, but then plus 25% melee attack, charge bonus, all that stuff. So Shrieking Skywars will soon be dead. The Soul Grinder separated from the Sour Guts, which doesn't seem like what he wanted to do, and now the Cold Knights are going to catch him out. He's trying to path away, gets all of his Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch to help him out a little bit. Still have 2 Cold Knights, still pretty healthy as they charge in. They should be able to win this fight. Shrieking Skywars are gone. Starting to get a little concerned about Tzeentch. Just a little bit. As Malice dives in. Yeah, there's Malice this whole time. He's just been there. If he turns into Zarkan, he can clear a lot of infantry with his Explosion and his Soul Stealer Light type thing. Plus his Burning Headcasters here. So I actually think the Dark Elves aren't out of this. Balanced Power is starting to count them out a little bit. Golden Knights trying to kill off the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. That is a big threat to Malice, so it'd be good to take it off the field and force the rest of the Tzeentch army to grind through him. The Sour Guts just stuck fighting, slowly getting attritioned out. Skirmish Cav nearby trying to help out as well. Soul Grinder still trying to get to safety as the Changebringers charge down. Keep him safe. Little bodyguard disc flamethrower demons. I want to see you play any Skaven Legendary turn 10 Alt Crisis. Show me how to survive a Skaven besides Tzeentch. Queek can do alright. Anyway, I was checking in on a message the tournament host pinged me. CA Homebrew expansion DLC. So the Changebringers get knocked out. You can see the balance of power of Tzeentch falls dramatically with that. Even though they're out of ammo, they're still a very expensive unit. And Malice has transformed into Zarkan, apparently. Taking him back to full HP, making him extremely deadly. Now, Village is still pretty much full health. Dark Elves are about out of cavalry. It is mostly on the back of Malice now. So can Malice hit a foot character multiple times in a row? Or not? Soul Grinder's not even shooting at Malice. It's going to shoot these Cola Knights. Try and just limit the Dark Elves army to as few models as possible as Village charge back in with the Soul Grinder at its side. Malice needs to hit Village, and he is always great and amazing at hitting foot characters. He's so good at it. I'm so proud of him. He is the best boy. No, he's not. That was all a lie. It was all a dirty fib. The Soul Grinder is about to Demonic Instability Crumble. One more hit from Zarkan should get it moving that direction. He's not able to do it just yet. Now he charges in. Yeah, there he gets the hit, and now it's Leadership Falls. It's going to start Demonic Instability Crumbling. Forsaken coming back over to help a little bit. Soul Grinder's going to run through them. Forsaken have nice mass. Good little bodies to throw at the Cold One Knights. Get them some good damage on them. Take those guys out. But unfortunately, Soul Grinder's just too low, so it is going to die to Demonic Instability. A blue fire is out onto Malice, but he dodges it effectively. And his Reaper of Souls plus his little Bloodstorm did a lot of damage to the Forsaken of Tzeentch. Now Tzeentch is pretty far behind. In comes a Doom Bolt. Well, the Bolt of Change, the tier 2 thing. You got it. And a Burning Head to follow up on the Forsaken. Apparently, absolutely fuck those Forsaken, says Tzeentch. Not Tzeentch, Dark Elves. Forsaken run to help Village. Village scuttles between them as Malice is forced away. Time favors Tzeentch. If the game goes on longer, Tzeentch is feeling better about it. Malice is still slowly bleeding away. And Tzeentch has better infantry left to hold the point. As Malice does get a rear hit onto Village. I saw his HP bar move, but the Forsaken immediately moved to Peel. They have a lot more mass than people give them credit for. So they're pretty good at stopping Malice from getting to his intended target. He does get around the woods. Village needs to get back to his troops. He got a little too greedy. He jumped over you. Nice. Immediately paths back towards his guys. I like that a lot. Just stalling him out. But he is going to have Bloodstorm up soon again, so he's about to do a little explosion and then Reaper of Souls heal. He's down to half HP. There's the Bloodstorm. Pink Fire of Tzeentch through the Dread Spears. Just trying to secure that for Tzeentch. Forsaken finished off the last of those Cold One cavalry. Malice's heal cap has appeared. Village is fighting him in the middle of all these Forsaken, but where's the Reaper of Souls? I swear that usually came off cooldown roughly the same time as another Burning Head threatens to take out the Forsaken. Marauder's almost routing to the Sorceress of Fire, but it's not quite to be, and they are attritioning her slowly. As Malice is stuck. Fighting Village. There it is. There's the Reaper of Souls. Good damage. Good healing that Malice really needed. And the Marauders are trying to get to the point. Forsaken should probably stay there and just get fresh vigor. Village is dying. At this point, it might be a conquest play, not as much a army lost the enemy play. for Tzeentch. His village is about to get taken out. Malice does manage to hit him multiple times and even shatters him. Army losses takes hold. We don't even get to see if Tzeentch can hold the point. Nice Lizardmen win devil. Okay. Spy Rat with a good comeback victory. Dark Elves were behind for quite a lot of that game. Changebringers did very well. Soul Grinder, not as much. He was often just stuck fighting random cavalry instead of being able to shoot, which is brutal. Cold One Spear Riders, look at that one. 2,600 value. 2,700, honestly. That is quite nice. Last game of the day. Empire versus Lizardmen. So we can get an MTK Joy Boy game. We saw Hellion in the semifinals on Lizardmen. We've not seen Joy Boy on his Empire. That's Gelt, double Empire Captain. Also known as Gelt and 1,200 wasted gold. For the Lizardmen, Skin Cohort, Saurus Warriors with shields. These are the Mace version Saurus Warriors. Slan of Shadows with Withering and Melkoths. Then we have the Clostodon Hunters, a Rev Crystal for some healing, and then a bunch of Feral Clothing and the Golden Spear Riders. Cool. On the other side, we have Free Company Militia, Silver Bullets, some Huntsmen, Great Swords, then a couple Empire Knights, double Pegasus Empire Captain, Balthasar Gelt with Final Transmutation as his only spell. Okay. Alright. I don't like Free Company Militia in this matchup or in general. I don't think they are usually worth it. They're only worth it in like Slanesh and Vampire counts, and even then it's kind of risky. I don't like a double Empire Captain ever, so I am so suspect of this Empire build. I'm all the sus. I'm the sus among us. Empire Knights will need to countercharge these Velociraptors who are slipping through the spear lines. Don't know what they're gonna go do because they're awfully far away from any helpless range. They're near Free Company Militia, but Free Company Militia can just fight back, okay. They're going to charge Great Swords. Great Swords should honestly be able to beat the Feral Cold Ones. Even without anti-large, they just have good stats. The final Transcaster is going back for the Slan and the Rev Crystal. Probably going to try and get a nice 2-for-1. And he has enough Winds of Magic regen that he probably has an overcasted Final Trans by now. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him use it. The Feral Cold One that took a little investigation into the Empire lines is going to get punished and pushed away. But here comes the rest of the Lizardmen formations. Golden Spear Riders trying to find somewhere to go. And there's a big Final Transmutation. Even hitting the Clostodon Hunters as they fly overhead. Gelt needs to get away. He did take some nasty damage for that one. Free Company Militia getting charged by Cold Ones. Maybe too many Cold One Cav all fighting the same unit, but we'll see as the Empire Knight's about to charge back in. And the double Empire Captain are now trying to kill the Slan Mage Priest, but I worry about the Clostodon Hunters being here. If they can get a good surround, they will tear apart these little Imperials. Looks like they might be doing just that as the Empire men are caught. Nope, they scuttle right on out. They're slippery enough. They made it. Huntsman and Free Company Militia getting some shots off. The Silver Bullets trying to find something to do, but most of the fight is taking place in the trees. They can't get a clean shot on a lot of targets they might want to. Looks like they are going to try and shoot at the Slan through the trees, but let's see the next volley from them. Yeah, a lot of those shots are hitting trees. That's tough. Elsewhere, Empire Knight's getting shreked by Cold One Cav. Free Company Militia and Halberdiers trying to lend a hand, but it looks like they might be too late. The other Cold Ones found their way onto the back line, though there are Empire Knights to intercept them. Still have some Great Swords back here, and the Silver Bolts are going to try and get a free shot on these Cold One Spear Riders. Unfortunately for them, some Empire Knights get in the way. A little bit of friendly fire here and there. Yeah, it's not ideal. Empire Captains are back at it. Once again, the Clostodon Hunters are back here to peel for the Slan, as is the Rev Crystal. The Lizardmen having a tough time with this front line. Their Saurus are quite tanky, and they're hanging in there. But the Cold One Cav having issues getting around the back line. They are killing Empire Knights, but while they're being blocked, Huntsmen and other things are getting a lot of damage out. But here's the first big break for Lizardmen. Front line collapses just as Cold One Spear Riders come through for the Huntsman, and a different Cold One Spear Rider catches the silver bullets. Now Empire Captains are maybe going to dive in and help out as Empire Knights flank this Cold One Spear Rider. But honestly, that Cold One Spear Rider is like, sure, whatever. The more Empire Knights they get to fight, the better. All of it's fine. Another final transmutation is Gelt tries to fly past the Clawson Hunters. He does make it, but again he overcasts, so not getting very lucky with those. A Melkoth onto him is a good slow. It's not going to do that much damage to him, but the slow itself is nice. As he's in the Clawson Hunters, who do pop their rampage, get a ton of damage out on him. He's not getting orders to leave, so that is a misplay from the Empire, unfortunately. It looks like he is going to rout, maybe even die, as the Empire Captains try and dive once again onto the Salon. Actually, one of them's way over there, so there's just one Empire Captain trying to dive a Salon. Gel's trying to get to safety, 105 speed, but he is wounded, so it's going to fall. Enfeebling Foe makes him even easier to hit, and actually the Clawson Hunters just wrap him up and kill him. That's a dead Gelt. The Empire lost their Lord and Caster. Pretty bad times. The Silver Bullets are routing. Their Empire Knights are all feeling pretty down in the dumps. On the positive side, their infantry is around. Their infantry's killed a lot of stuff. Here we have the cohort of Sotek teaming up with Colden Knights on some greatswords, and those greatswords are surrounded, getting mauled by dinosaurs from every direction. I vote for trees to win this tournament. They're a real deciding factor in a bunch of matches today. Yeah, I usually just avoid taking any ranged on tree maps, honestly. It's too much. It's too much to deal with. Still, the Empire State troops are pushing out. Lines of halberds and greatswords take the fight to the Stildon, to Cold and Spear Riders. Captain is still trying to chase down the Salon and kill him off. Just having such a hard time of it. I think if the next Rev Crystal goes to Salon, this is probably GG. Just as like a none of your efforts meant anything, get fucked kind of way. Yeah, there we go. None of your efforts meant anything, get fucked. The Empire troops are routing. Their cavalry is all but gone. The Lizardmen cavalry reigns supreme. You still have a Slon who's casting Melkoths. You still have a banishment? No, no banishment. No blood saturated spite either, but I guess you can just spam Melkoths on the healthy infantry, and then they'll rout in due time. From the terror-causing Rev Crystal. Empire Captain trying to push his way through a lot of Cold One Spear Riders to get back onto the Salon. The Cold One Spear Riders are collapsing onto his friend at the same time. A lot of stuff's routing off. And I think if those greatswords tear out away from the Rev Crystal, that'll be GG. Enfeebling Foe with a little bit of spell mastery. Minus 27, 27 is nasty. Empire Captain routes, a lot of stuff routes. There's halberds living their best life, getting to fight a whole bunch of big targets that they do love fighting, but it's not enough. And that's GG. Okay. GG's, everybody. GG's. Cold and Spear Riders did great, as per usual. Ripperdactyls did quite well. For Joy Boy, Geld got some good casts off. The Double Empire Captain, unfortunately, just didn't get enough done. State Troops did alright. Free Company Militia did okay. Huntsman, the Silver Bullets struggled a bit to get their value back. GG. And that is it for me today. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for hanging around. I'll see if there's somebody I'm supposed to be raiding. We'll see. Redirect. Yeah, we'll raid Sunset. It's fine. Goodbye. Goodbye.